welcome to a DC Universe online podcast, bringing you news and weekly entertainment for the DCUO Peoples Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the People's Podcast, the original People's Podcast, by the way.
You was going to say the daddy's house then.
I came close. Welcome back to another episode here. I, of course, am Super Patriot, the daddy's house and all that. I'm sitting here with our friend Orbit.
What's going on, guys?
Hello. Hello.
So I'm sitting here with good old Balkan. Also sitting here, we have Mr. God's Disciple.
Hey.
And of course, we are sitting here with our little friend Balkan.
Again.
That's two Balkans in the chat today.
I don't know. I had the stream going in my freaking ear for some reason, and now it's stopped.
We have Balkan, and we have Balkan again.
We got God's Disciple, we got Balkan, and special guest today we have here coming from Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Godman.
Yo, let's get this party started. What's up, guys?
What's it go, mate?
So, welcome back, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Good to sit here and talk to everybody. How's everybody's week been?
Awesome.
It's been good, man. I've just literally pretty much finished my Christmas shopping now. I've got like 3 gifts left to get. What about you guys? Done all your Christmas shopping?
Yeah, I did mine today as well, actually. I went out, did a bit of shopping for the family.
Yeah, I'm so like, I hate going shopping. I hate shopping.
Yeah, I know. And it's worse like when you don't know what to get someone and you're just looking at shit and you're thinking, how bad would they think of me if I bought them this? And you're just like, fuck it, I'll just spend it, whatever, it's a tenner.
What would you get me?
What would I get you?
Yeah, what would you buy me?
I would buy you...
A Voldemort
For sale sign?
t-shirt.
What?
Voldemort t-shirt from Harry Potter.
Get him
Some cookies.
Get him a for sale sign.
Yo.
Are we going to do this all the way through the
Maybe.
6 fucking back teeth for these.
I'd buy you a best friends for life t-shirt.
Oh, thanks, mate.
No, but it wouldn't be for me and you.
Yeah, it would be.
It wouldn't be, mate. No. I'd get one in a
Voldemort.
extra large and then whatever your size is. Oh shit, shots fired.
Who's extra large?
Well, anyway, moving on to the People's Podcast.
The Christmas.
Scott, how's your week been?
Yeah, been good, mate. Been really, really good. Pretty chilled out. Been doing some shopping as well. Nothing special really. I've been like on DC getting my like last fix of like broken PvP. So I've been like trying to one-shot as many people as I possibly can before it all gets fixed. Silence.
Balkan, how you been?
No comment.
I've been good, great actually. Not much going on in life. Yeah, that's it. Silence. Patriot.
What have you been
Sounds like the fucking most boring life you have there.
I mean, yeah, guys, I was doing skydiving, bungee jumping, jumped from a plane, and jumped in the car inside and everything. I did the whole James Bond movie joke.
Nice.
Oh, mate, Jesus.
That's good.
Stop complaining, Orbit. Here's some action.
It sounds more exciting than Orbit and Smile Before Death, the video series.
Coming soon.
Sell out.
Listen, guys, everyone in the chat, these guys give me a hard time just because I'm doing videos with Smile now, so, I can only result it down to I don't even know. You tell me, what's the problem here?
Sell out.
What's the problem, Falcon? What's the problem? What's the problem? Come on, keep making
Like I
sliding
said,
remarks.
nothing, mate. Everything is fine, you know.
Alright,
I mean,
cool.
the
That's what I
history is
thought.
just funny, you know. I mean, the history.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Smile messaged me, apologized, and we spoke. And you know, it's in the past. It's 2 years ago, more than that. So here we are today.
Kind of similar to my situation with me and Inuyasha. You know, we had our, fit, and then eventually we start to apologize and then move on from there, because it makes no sense to keep like living the past and holding grudge against one another, because eventually we will change. You know what I mean? If you choose to change, that is. You know, that's just part of growing up. You know.
Yeah.
So how was your week, Super Patriot?
Nah, I
I
got
know, foreign speech.
Always been all right. Actually, I have an announcement too. Me, Lord God Melevant,
I
Chocula,
saw that. I saw that.
and
I
Fighting
did.
Horn. We've gotten together. We've squashed all of our beef, and we're going to be starting up another a new podcast together. We're going to call it the Super Duper DCUO Peoples Podcast.
Sounds nice. Can I
No,
joke?
that's serious, Godman.
Yeah, he's taking the piss out of orbit, you know. I mean,
Godman, let me just get this out of the way. What's the deal with the Real People's Podcast?
Well, I mean, I didn't come up with it like all by myself. I was with a group of people, and we were just talking about like, hey, you should start doing your own podcast. So I was like,
and you can mic cut off. Hello.
Then he's muted his mic and he's gone. But and Balkan, you going on the Real People's Podcast? Even more ridiculous.
I was once there. Yeah, I was once there. Like Patriot was. Yeah.
Yeah, but Super Patriot was like he went on to to answer people. You just went on and was like giggling with all the guys like you're one of the squad.
And
this sounds
listen, man,
stupid.
you should never talk
Hold on.
about me about stuff, man. You did the biggest. I mean, compared my thing to your thing. Shut up, man. Seriously, shut up. Just shut up, man.
This is how
Don't
stupid
make
it
me.
is, right?
No,
Shush,
you
shush,
compare.
shush.
This is not the same. You're looking
Shush.
for an excuse to make your things good. Be quiet, man.
No, this is how stupid it is, right? It's like Trex. It's like me making a podcast called the Real Sourcecast, and then Trex like coming on my podcast.
Yeah, well, well, it's your thing then. Simple. You can do what you want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do already what you want, so.
You'll do what we want, man. We'll do. I'm just curious what the fuck are you playing at?
What am I playing? Everything fine, man. Everything is fine. I mean, like everyone is making up with each other, stay in contact. You see, so everything cool.
We're
You
only
want-
joking
you want next
around,
week?
guys. By the way, we are only messing around.
Yeah, we've been like back and forth to do this stuff. Like first was like half an hour already.
We've all got some built up anger we need to.
Yeah.
We're just coming up with new shit right now. That's all. You gotta admit though, that sale sign, getting Orbit a sale sign for Christmas. That was a good one.
Right, let's be nice. Let's be nice now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Godman's.
Are you okay now?
I am curious to hear Godman's.
He's
I
Godman's
lost
getting
the
his.
connection.
He lost his connection, so we're gonna try and get him back here in a minute, and we can talk to him about his podcast.
Cool.
So DCUO news this week. They actually are doing a 7-day sale, I believe. Yesterday they had a sale going on for memberships and everything. Today though is their base item sale, your layer item sale. Guys, you got that info? What all is entailed in that sale right now?
Pressure? No, I haven't.
No, you don't. All right.
Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me.
I can tell this right now. Pretty much anything that you can put in your lair is on sale right now. The only thing that's not part of the sale right now is the Batcave lair item packs
Yeah, I
and
thought so.
Oh,
Flash
so
pack.
all the good stuff then.
Well, yeah,
That would
but
be an absolute piss take if they put that on sale.
I was taking a look. I was taking all the items that are on sale right now. If you are looking to stock up on armories for your alts or anything like that, you need to get some armories and all that. The 8-pack sale right now, for at least the 8-pack armory is on sale right now for like 680 marketplace cash. That is a huge discount off of that pack. That pack, what that pack normally costs. But that's with your membership or non-membership discount that you also get as well. So
Forget
definitely want to
85% or what?
I don't know about 85%, but I don't know how much it all adds up to. But you definitely want to take a look at that sale today and all that. And if you're looking to get some, wanting to get some armories for your tunes and everything, definitely check out that 8-pack sale. I mean, 680 for 8 armories. That's good. That's damn good. I saw that and I was like, whoa.
Are you gonna buy more though?
I might buy some more because I could use some extra armories for some of my alts.
Which you never use anyway.
Anyways, but yeah, I may one day. You never know.
Just buy in case. Panic buy. Sell there, spend money, quick.
You never know, man. I was like, maybe I feel like going back, reliving the old days, tanking some FOS, too, with a at level Earth tune or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
That would never happen.
You never know, man. You never know. But tomorrow's sale, you guys may want to take a look at. They're actually doing this. It's like a little special thing they're doing right now. Tomorrow they are doing an All Legends promo Friday, which is part of their winter sale thing here. So this Friday only, you're going to be able to step into the shoes of your favorite iconic DC characters and punching other characters in the face. To make that even better and even easier, for this Friday only, they're making all Legends characters playable by anyone. So whether you're a member, free, premium, or anything like that, if you are, I've always wondered, what a Legends character may, be like in Legends PvE or PvP. You can select any Legends character now and queue up for those 2 events and 2 types of play and go in there and have fun with it. Not to mention the fact you could take it into the Legends practice arena, which they've now live, and test them out and see if you like them or not.
I haven't been in
Great
that yet.
idea.
How is the Legends practice?
I haven't been in there yet either, but from it's basically from the way I'm seeing it in my head and the way it was described to me is basically like you queue into it, go in there as whatever Legends tune you've queued into it as, and it's a practice area. It's a practice area where you can like you got test dummies in there, and you can see what powers do what. And everything like that, work out your weapon combos and whatever you might want to clip, whatever powers you might want to clip with those weapon combos and everything. So it's something they've needed to add for a while and all that because that way people don't have any kind of buyer's remorse with.
Yeah, when you buy someone off the marketplace and then.
Oh, you can even
realize
use
they
characters you haven't bought.
No, you do have to. Well. You do have you do have to buy the Legends characters. That's my fault. Yeah, you do have to buy the Legends.
Yeah, of course not.
So
But if you get on tomorrow, you're going to be able to access all the Legends characters. So get on tomorrow and test them all out in there.
So it's just basically the Legends practice is just basically like aspiring targets for Legends. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Also, though, with tomorrow, all Legends PvE events are returning. So they're going to bring back all of the Legends PvE events for the weekend, starting Friday and ending Monday. So make sure you go in there, and if you've got some feats from other, past Legends PvEs that you may have missed, may not have gotten to, may have not have been able to get done, this is your weekend to catch up on all those feats that you missed out on. Because they are
take more than a weekend to do all of them.
Let's see here. And then they are also doing a Legends sale. So let's see here. When are they doing that? That is the Legends promo event begins with the daily service restarts on December 18th, which is tomorrow, and ends with the daily server restarts on December 19th. The Legends PvE events begin with the daily server restarts December 18th and ends with daily server restarts on December 21st. But let's see, they are, if you end up liking some of the Legends characters you're trying out, Legends characters will be on sale up to 75% off on each Legends characters. You know, you have some of them will be up to 75% off for the day as well. Combined with the increased 15% membership discount, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's 90% off some Legends characters, if you remember.
That's good that they're basically putting everything together at once. So, like, there's, like, no excuse, really, isn't there? You get to try what Legends character you want, and then you've got the sale if you do want to buy him, and then you've got the Legends PvE as well. So it's, like, perfect everything for one weekend.
Yep.
They are legends. They're legends for doing that.
I didn't say they are legends. I said
it sounded like you said they are legends. Legends for
buy
doing that
maps
to
on the
legends.
marketplace.
Buy maps.
But yeah, definitely make sure if you are a member, non-member, or whatever, make sure you guys definitely get on tomorrow for all that.
You going to be doing that, Super? You going to be spamming through those feats?
No, the only feats I need to get done right now are Paradox Wave. I still need to get my Paradox Wave feats done.
What? Which ones?
All but 2 team-ups.
Oh, right. Okay, your PV. I thought you were talking about, like, at the actual Paradox Wave. Your PvE Legends you're talking about.
The Legends PvP feats.
Okay.
PvE feats.
Thing is, right, I can't there's no point in going into and doing and farming those feats because skill points don't fucking matter at the moment.
Well, I mean, skill points, they still, if you use your main role at all, they still do matter.
So, like your support role, you mean?
Yeah, for healing, tanking, and controlling, they still matter. I've queued up for raids where with especially with my controller, for instance, because I've unlocked feats on him and everything to so I can get the innates and everything like that, to get his vid up high and everything. But I've gone into instances where there's been another controller, and it's like they'll be like 10 CR higher than my tune is, and I'll have a higher vit than them because I've got the skill points, and so I mean I'm still pumping out more. I'm pumping out more power than the other guy can.
Let me rephrase that though. When you get to a certain point, going beyond, like I've got 230 skill points, 240 skill points is going to take me a hell of a lot of grinding, and you won't see the difference. That's what I'm saying.
See, the thing I find about Legends PvE is that the feats in there, they're easy feats, but they're the hard feats as well. It's like, for example, like, I don't know, 500 duos. It's easy to do, but it's just one of those which is just a bit like, oh, this is a bit of a ball ache to do at the same time.
Yeah, you're talking about those the main feats, the grind feats. Do it as a Batman inspired tune.
But even like just the team ups are a bit long.
The team ups aren't that bad. I mean, they're not too bad. I mean, depending on who you end up getting stuck with, playing. I'm just like, you go in there with a Saint Walker and all that. He's not doing that much damage. You might have a little bit of a longer run and everything. But I've always noticed that. I mean, even with some failings that some of the Legends characters have, how good those Legends tunes actually perform is up to the person that's holding that controller more than anything.
See, they're smart with the Legends PvE feats because there's always like that that one Legends character in there that you need, which is like you've got to buy off the marketplace or cost loads of marks, and it's like to get that feat, you basically have to buy the Legend. Have you noticed that?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously they want you to buy their product. Why would they not want you to buy their product?
I know. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. It is so sneaky.
But I mean, it's not like, you know, they're. I mean,
If they didn't
It's not
have
like-
that though, you'd have people complaining. Well, why haven't you used this Legends character as a? And you know,
they've
when you-
actually been pretty good. They've actually been pretty good about rotating out different Legends characters through it all. That at least I've noticed it. I mean, some of the team ups that I'm looking at, I'm like, why would these two ever team up? but at the same time, as you know, it's like, you know, one of the team ups right now that I got done today for Paradox Wave was Black Adam and Felix Faust. And I'm like, didn't Faust like totally screw over Black Adam? You know, in Kondak? I mean,
Yeah.
I was like,
They're best buddies now.
yeah, why are they helping each other?
Reminds me on someone.
Yeah, this reminds me of someone actually. It's quite a similar scenario.
Wow, totally unintended segue.
Always forgiven. Always
I don't have.
I trapped you in thinking that your wife was back, but nah, we're fine now, aren't we? We're cool. We're cool. Cool.
But I agree with Dark Horse in the chat though, man. I was like, I don't really like doing the Legends PvE. I especially hate pugging it, you know, with people, because I've got a picture that I put out on my Twitter not too long ago. First time I went to try and run it, I'm in there and we shut up, dog. Shut up.
What the fuck?
That's my dog. The first time I went in there to run it with somebody, you know, I picked up somebody, you know, for a team up feat. We go in and we go to fight the Sentry. You know, everybody remembers fighting the Sentry in Paradox Wave, right? So when I see that little crab dude jump, all right, and then land over where I was standing at, I hurried up, tucked and rolled out of there, right? The other three guys in the group, they all lunge in and just start beating away on him. And soon enough, you know, he starts doing his little crab dance there, and all three of them die. I just stood there and took a picture of it. I was like, this is when you realize that you're running Paradox Wave with people who never have before.
No.
So, yeah.
All right, well, let's stop talk about Legends. There's only one thing more boring than doing Legends PvE, and that's talking about Legends PvE.
Have any of you guys been able to get onto test yet? I know
on test.
I know I've got it, and I know Bulk has been able to get on there.
I've been trying for 2 days. I was trying, and it got to like 40% download, and then it just had an error message. Just reinstalled, even downloaded like the normal PC version of the game. Then went back to download the PC test, still not working. Tried to tweet DCUO, but they didn't reply.
I'm trying to find it.
You wonder why?
I tweet them twice, and they just fucking ignore me.
Or
Like, Orbit needs help going on the PC test.
This call went straight to voicemail.
Hi, you've reached Maps. Please leave a message after the tone.
Don't even bother leaving a message. You're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
God, where is it at? Because I have a link here. I will put it in the chat for everybody. Because I asked about, because you know, there's a lot of people been having this issue, and I actually shared it with Trick Daisy the other day. But if you guys go to this link right here, that's in our chat, in the chat, go there and follow the steps there and everything in case if the launch pad's crashing on you while you're downloading and everything like that. Follow those steps right there, and it should fix the issue for you. So you should be able to download the test client. So
Am I right? I read that it's a H1Z1 fix or something that can work on DC. I think I seen Trick put that on Twitter. I think it was Trick that I seen it.
yeah, well, I shared that with Trick, and then he like quoted my tweet, and
Oh, nice. Nice.
yeah. So yeah, definitely check that out. And guess who I got that link from?
Who?
Meps.
Did you?
Yeah.
From the big dog himself.
Yeah. So
I am the dog.
he still answers the phone when I call him.
Yeah. Orbit cries every time.
All you have to do is go to your DCUO test folder, copy the folder Unreal free from the person to test. What?
Yeah, so definitely check that out there. Speaking of test, the PvP changes still on test right now. We all know about. We talked about some of the things they've done with the initial application of the changes that are going on there. They've added some things since then. So some of the changes that that we can expect to hit the test server that they did last week. Yeah, last week. They further reduced the damage from AMs by 50%. They reduced the damage on dots from Nature Electric and Celestial. They correctly predicated removed AM damage from Celestial. Reduced the damage from Nature's dog form. They need to make that damn dog interruptible.
Rage got nerfed twice.
Let's see. They further reduced damage from weapon mastery and big combos by 50%. Found and corrected a few other nature abilities that did not have the correct damage reduction in PvP.
So the nerf has been nerfed.
Yeah, they got a bigger nerf mallet out and hit it again.
What's the general feedback coming from the test server?
General feedback is, I mean, a lot of people are, I mean, there are taking some issues with some things and everything like that. People are still wanting things removed, like some AM abilities being able to block break or do counters.
Yeah.
And all that. They're wanting that removed, which I can get on board with so long as all powers that do counter mechanics are removed.
Oh, do you know what the worst one is? The worst combo is with nature. When people do the vine lash, pulls you in, then you go to break out from it, and you go into block, and then they do briar on you, and it block breaks you, and you're like, oh, that is the fucking worst.
I used to, I tested out a few times and in arenas. I never really did it that much, used AMs that much in arenas, but when I did, I would use Burning Determination to activate the AM for fire, and I would surprise the shit out of people with Flame Cascade. Because nobody ever really uses Flame Cascade, but that will juggle the hell out of somebody and block breaks them every time.
Yeah. Did you see the video that I uploaded the other day? The Celestial combo. Obviously not on test, but it's live. It's like
no, I didn't. No,
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a horrible hit. Like it's I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Wrath of the Presence after Admonish. So I did Admonish and then Wrath of the Presence, comboed it, and I just hit two guys for like 20 odd K, one shot both of them.
God,
it's disgusting. PvP, yeah. PvP.
Oh my God. In the arenas or in open world?
In the arenas. Disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Did you say that Celestial? There's some sort of change on the test server to Celestial.
On test they reduced the damage on the dots for Celestial, and they also found and corrected. Correctly predicated and removed AM damage from Celestial. So, yeah, you should be able to do that again once this update hits live.
I hope not, because that was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. Someone did it on me, and then I was like, "What is this loadout?" And I messaged the guy, and he sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh my God. The cheese is real. The cheese." Funny. But yeah, any sort of movement on when that might be coming live? Any sort
When
of
it's coming
suggestion?
live, I think they want to. I don't think this is going to be just these changes right here are going to hit live. I think they are doing these, and then they're going to do another change, address another issue,
Mm.
right, and see how those two work together, and then they'll possibly maybe put the two changes together on on live, or they may just. What I hope they end up doing is making all these changes, right, one after another, okay, and then making adjustments for each change as they add another change to fix stuff.
Yeah.
And then after they've added like 5 or 6 changes and everything's working perfect and everything's golden good, then they add it all on in one big update. So we get everything fixed at one time.
Yeah. That doesn't that sort of like leave the door open for more problems on a big scale though, if they do it all at once.
The only thing I see, no, because I mean, if they do it right and they do it, we got people testing this stuff out and everything. I've had I don't know how many people, I've seen I don't know how many people talking about getting on the test server,
Yeah.
and everything like that. It's awesome. It's awesome. So if everything's getting done right and feedback's being handled correctly and it's being given appropriately, and we're all everybody gets on the same page, because I mean they're not just making changes based off of one group saying this and the other group saying and they're disregarding feedback from the other group. People are getting together. I was like, I've had conversations on the forums with people who I know for a fact detest me, but I've had conversations with them about, like, for instance, the AM block breaking thing.
Yeah.
AM's block breaking. I brought up. I was like, I can, I'm not trying to start any beef with you, because this is the first time I posted on the forums in a while, and I was responding to somebody that I knew did not, really doesn't really care for me that much, and I told him, I was like, I'm not trying to start any beef, and I'm not questioning what you're saying here. I'm just asking you a question in regards to, if this change comes in, what are you have to say about some powers that do interrupts, similar to lunges and everything, where you end up block breaking, not block breaking somebody, but interrupting somebody's combo.
Yeah.
And everything. Would you want those removed also? Because that affects a lot of other powers. I know it affects atomics, AM combos, because they've got some melee combos that will do interrupts. That affects hard light. With its claws, it would do that stuff. And other powers as well. So I was like, like rage, especially.
That's a good point, actually. How is hard light been on the test? Any sort of suggestion or feedback about that? Because that is a horrible advanced mechanic.
See, here's my thing. I am not that familiar. I as much as Mighty Hornet may not like me, I bow to his knowledge of hard light.
Yeah.
I will bow to his knowledge of hard light. If he says something's wrong with hard light, I will agree with him. Something's wrong with it. And I'll say he would know.
I hate Harlem. I hate it.
But
Welcome.
I have not really seen that much feedback. I haven't read the thread for a couple of days, but I haven't seen that much feedback about hard light yet.
Oh. Me and Balkan did a couple of twos earlier on, but about an hour ago, obviously on live. And as soon as anyone got into like the thrash combo on us, we were just both dead instantly. It was horrible, wasn't it, Balkan?
Yeah, it's cheesy. It's OP.
Oh wait, okay. So later, and here's something I did miss. To answer your question, they further reduced hard light combo power damage by 25% in PvP. So.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, so they've also reduced damage.
How many
for,
percent?
25%.
Just
now, keep in mind, now they had already reduced all, damage.
Yeah. Okay.
So they reduced it.
So
an
it's
additional
actually
25%.
75%. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, I mean 50 normal and 25 extra for hardline. It's 75. I mean, I'm wrong. All right now, come on.
Maths with Balkan.
But see, they've reduced the damage from Rage AM abilities in PvP, and they also reduced the damage from sorcery pets when in PvP.
Oh,
So
thank God.
yeah,
Sorcery
they
pets.
need something about Crystal too, though.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh
Just,
yeah, Crystal could stun and block break you. It just knocks you in the ground as you try to like get back up. You know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous.
see, the Fury with sorcery is just a pain in the ass. That fucking dude just stuns you like hell, and then is smashing you with damage. Then you've actually got the real dude to worry about at the same time. You just run in there against someone, you're just like, right, well, I'm basically gonna be breaking out every time, and then just getting smashed.
All right, here's some extra changes
Basically.
I found. I didn't even know this was an issue. They fixed Earth's fortified golem, giving power regeneration to players in PvP. So Earth's
Really?
been cheating this whole time. See, they fixed an issue where Rage AM was still functioning in PvP. Okay, so that would be the power back that he's talking about there. Reduced the combo damage from Rage AM in PvP. Reduced Nature's Wolf Form combos by the same ratio as Weapon Mastery combos reductions. Reduced damage for Nature's Insect Form Acid Spit attack. Reduced the AM damage for Nature's Wolf Form when using Carnage with Serpent's Call and Roar. Re-added power back in bug form. I don't think that's right.
See, the only thing that worries me is obviously with these sort of updates which are being done to the powers, they're obviously the flavor of the month powers at the moment in PvP, the ones which are OP. There's not really much mention of things like powers like mental and like quantum, which are the ones which
right now nobody's supposed to be testing mental right now because it's going through its mid-range pass.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough then.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm basically saying is I hope those powers don't get forgotten about, and they come out of the test server like shit, basically.
But why is that Rage and Harley's always overpowered? You know what I mean? Like, just why those two powers? Just why? You know? Does anybody even know?
The one thing I've always, I mean, like when Rage first came out, the thing I always found that was more harder to deal with Rage than the damage it was doing were the stuns.
Yeah.
The stuns. Those were always my issues with that. I think that's where people are getting a lot of the feeling that Rage is doing way too much damage just because you get stunned on that at the beginning of that their combos and everything. I'm not doubting the fact that either one of those powers. I know for a fact. I mean, I went into a match against you might know him, Godman, Johnny Cage.
I heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, he follows around people on Twitter, on Twitch, and everything like that. I went in a match against him, and he just was blowing me up, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?"
You want to know why? To be exact, I feel like powers that are precision based overpower the powers that are might based.
Yeah.
And I feel like precision based powers usually surpasses the ones that are not precision based, and I think that is the main issue in PvP. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because most people go in precision anyway for the weapon, so they have the
Straight
weapon
precision,
strong and the weapon advanced
there you go.
mechanic. Yeah.
And the power itself is strong. So basically, that's what's going to overpower. So if they could figure out how to also balance our might-based powers with the precision-based, then maybe we'll go somewhere with that, and it'll be more balanced.
Yeah, I think that's actually the way they're going with this because they've bumped down Rage a few times. They've bumped down Hardlight. Balkan said 75%, stuff like that. So I think that's the way they're going with, as far as trying to find a balance with those powers.
Yeah, that's the three main ones you've mentioned there, isn't it? Rage, Highlight, and Celestial, the precision-based ones. That's good.
Seriously, that's the most common power in PvP nowadays, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then probably after that, the only sort of might-based power, which is the most popular one, is probably Nature. But
oh my god, don't get me started with that.
But yeah, I completely agree with you, Soups. The wolf, not the wolf, the dog, that needs to be
dog. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I mean that third bite, you need to be able to block that, and they get interrupted.
Yeah.
Because oh my god, it's so annoying, especially in people just spam it, and you're like, there's just the only thing you can do to avoid that damage is like fly up in the air or get ranged on them and everything like that. But if you're doing a node match like in Batcave or in Shadowlands, you can't do that.
But the thing is, as well, is with the dog as well, is the block. Like, when it blocks,
Yeah.
it's so fucking hard to see it blocking. They should either make it that you can't block in dog form, or it should just be brutally obvious that they are blocking in dog form, because that's a pain in the ass.
The thing is, what is the purpose of having a dog form in the first place? Like, what do you do besides just like humping on other people's legs? That's what the people usually used to do in Hall of Doom.
Yeah, the best bit about dog form really is when you do the terminal remote. That's the only best bit about it.
No, the best thing about dog form is when you switch the dog form and then you put on one of the movement
Oh, and you're flying dog.
pieces. You can be like a flying
Speedster
dog,
dog is
acro
funny.
dog. The speedster dog is hilarious.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, that dog gets up on its hind legs, man, and it goes. It
Vulcan
just
made me
takes
laugh
off.
the other day there. Vulcan went into the snowman trinket and was flying around as a snowman. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this game? Snowman
That's a
flying.
real Christmas spirit right there.
I ain't gonna lie. A few years ago, man, we ran into somebody in Star Labs during a PvP match, and he was in wolf form. And next thing I know, he's flying around chasing people up in the air. And we were like, "Oh my! How is this guy freaking glitching like that? Oh my god! Look at this guy glitching!"
Yeah.
And then we pieced it together. I was like, "That dude's wearing a freaking Joker jetpack."
Yeah.
But it was funny.
And you remember
Some
the
other
moonwalking glitch as well?
What's that?
The moonwalking glitch. You didn't,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
didn't really
can randomly.
Yeah, you don't really see many people do that anymore, but the moonwalking glitch was always a funny one. But look, I'm Michael Jackson. Look.
That terminal one where you go through the teleporter as well, and you like go around. It looks like you're on like one of those scooter things.
Yeah.
You ever do that one?
Yeah, I think I've heard about it, but
That's a funny one.
On another
Me and
post-
Bright were just scooting around.
On another post in the testing feedback here for titled "Overpowered Abilities," they are they're investigating Hardlight's Claw Attack, Outrage, Viscerating Chain, and Plasma Wretch into Bloodlust for Rage.
Nerf everything. Just nerf them.
Just going with iconic powers. Everyone is happy.
Grand Summoning for Sorcery. Burning Determination, Stoke Flames, and Healing in general for Fire.
Oh, thank
Photon Remedy for Atomic. Dog Form for Nature.
God.
Photon Blast for Gadgets.
What?
Sorry,
What have they done? Photon Blast? What? What have they done?
It's over, Falcon. It's over.
Photon Blast. I guarantee you the reason why they're looking at Photon Blast is probably because of the stun. It's not the damage that it's doing. It's more likely the stun and the pushback that it does.
Don't look for
Say-
it, guys.
it's
Trust
sweet.
me. It's fine.
You watch,
it's
as soon as we
fine.
come off this podcast, Balkan's going to be making about 20 different accounts before. Like, Photon Blast is underpowered. Give it a buff. Give it a buff.
Let's see here. For weapons, they're investigating Hand Blaster's Discharge, Handspring Kick. I believe that might be Shield. Martial Arts Cartwheel and crits with it. Shield Overhead Plate Smash. They're taking a look at counter damage overall. Celestial's Corrupted Blessing.
No.
And finishers in general.
Sounds like all
So-
good stuff, though. It sounds like all the stuff that's obviously still overpowered on the live server, let alone on the test. So
Yeah.
sounds like the good stuff's getting nerfed.
Yeah, I saw a couple videos people posted up of some of the finisher attacks were like hitting for like a lot.
Yeah.
Even against people that weren't below 35%. So
Yeah.
it's all
Sweet.
good stuff. All good stuff. I'm glad to see. I'm really happy to see so many people are getting on the test server and testing this stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah. So Godman's back, and Orbit was wanting to talk to you about your podcast, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that earlier, guys. I got cut off for the simple fact I was in one of college just trying to apply and stuff, and I
That's
was like,
fine.
oh shit.
That's fine.
To get back from what I was saying, I made the Real People's Podcast is like a joke in a way. Like, we're not trying to like really diss you guys, but it's more of a joke. You know what I mean? Like it's like a comedy thing because we was all talking about it with Lord God, Melvin, Trick, Daisy. I think no, Trick wasn't there, but a couple other people was there, and we was just cutting jokes and stuff basically, and we was like, why don't we call it the Real People's Podcast? It was like, everybody was laughing, and I was like, nah, it's a joke, and everybody was serious about it. So I was like, what about the roast cast? No, we like the People's Podcast better, the Real People's Podcast. I was like, okay, we'll go with that then. And from there we just started the show from there, and I guess but that's I don't know if Orbit's here right now, but like
Yeah,
it
man.
wasn't I wasn't trying to like insult you in any way or like or like to attack your show or anything like that. It was just more of like the real meaning of the Real People's Podcast is like it's not just the same people. It's like we try to invite at least 1 to 2 different people that play that's a veteran within the game itself, so they could have the chance to speak out, have their opinion on the side about the game, basically. You know what I mean? Like what's really wrong with the game, like what we're talking about, basically like PvP, nature, raids, and stuff like that. But I have different people in there in the show, so they could have a chance to speak out, so they could be heard. That's just.
But you
talk about
you calling it the Real People's Podcast is like saying that we are not the Real People's Podcast.
I know. I know, man.
and it's not a one-off thing. Like if you're going to continue with this all like every week, then like, do you know what I mean? It's like joke's over.
I don't blame you for being a little upset about it, to be honest with you. I really don't. I mean, I'll try to if it's possible for me to change the name, I can, but I just got to discuss it with the guys on the other side. You know what I mean? And see what we
that's
could
not
do.
going to happen.
Because
I think we all know that's not gonna
Well,
love
you
to
can
come
cut
on
the
and
podcast
speak
and
to
I
you
can
guys.
make a
I
contract with
can't
you so you can
whilst
stay in
it's
ours.
with that, you know what I'm saying? I'd make a fool out of myself if I went on the Real People's Podcast.
I wanted you to come to the Real People's Podcast, though. You know what I mean? Just-
I'd love to go, but I'm not going whilst it's called that.
Yeah, Orbit.
It's like,
though,
I'm gonna make a YouTube channel called The Real Godman.
I told them the same stereo yesterday when I explained them,
What would you do if I made a YouTube channel called The
I know what you
Real
mean, though.
Godman?
I'll see, man. I don't know. I honestly don't. I'll be curious and a little pissed off, like the real Godman. But I thought I was the real Godman. You know what I mean? It's just, who is that? Somebody's trying to be an imposter.
in all serious, God, man, I think you're only going to have one person who's going to be against changing the name.
Which one's
I
that?
think we know who that is.
Who would that be?
You can join our site, when you
Yeah.
change it, promotion, everything.
I don't know. I'd probably say people.
In all fairness, though, Orbit, remember when you and Smile started this People's Podcast up and all that, and I sent you guys that message, and I was like, you guys need to change the name and all that.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Because of Memphis, because he's always calling himself the People's Champ. Yeah. I was like, you guys should really change the name, man. Just so nothing started.
That's completely different.
This is just. I was like, you guys should change the name just so shit gets stirred up. And both of you guys, fuck that, But I do get your point. Point about that one. Yeah.
On a serious note, though, Godman, I do watch your podcast and I do enjoy it. I like what you're doing with it. You're welcome.
You shut down another subway tunnel.
No, aside from me, I actually talked with Godman about this last night. When he was in a call with Balkan while he was streaming, I was like, I had a blast going on there and talking with those guys. I enjoy having a conversation with other players.
Yeah.
No matter who they are. So I had a lot of fun. Aside from like the one member that
Thank you. I appreciate it if you guys could sit here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't like.
No worries, man.
I I know Orbit's a little mad at me. I know he's mad at me about that. I know he is.
Sound like Robocop. I can't hear you. He's gone.
But yeah, aside from just one cast member and all that, I think they got a good thing going with that podcast there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the name. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Super.
Oh, come on, dude! Seriously.
Isn't it evident?
I thought it was me that I'm like missing connection over here.
Yeah, but
It is you, Godman.
It's just the name, yeah. I think or that.
or Back to the Future.
Can't hear you,
Back to the
mate.
future.
I don't know, like he's like.
Something is
We
going
can't.
on
We
here.
can't hear. We can't hear you, Godman.
Oh yeah, I gotta get it started.
Guys driving around.
Whoa.
So, but
I have a feeling he just told a really funny story, and he's the only one that heard it. We're not making fun of you, Godman. I mean, if you hear this, listen to it later. We're not making fun of you. It's just a funny situation. You know,
I just picture Orbit just eyebrows downwards, just as he's on the podcast right now, just like fucking guy over here, the real people podcast.
What did you say?
Oh my god.
I think he thinks I'm mad at him, but I'm not. I'm not mad. I just.
No.
I think-
It's a shame, man, because I like the podcast as well. But it's just annoying that is that name, you know.
We could kind of consider it as the USA podcast or something. Oh shit! I'll stop talking.
Call it the Go Gamers Special Podcast. I don't know.
We'll help you come up with some new
This
names.
sucks.
Yeah, let's have a brainstorm in the chat. Let's think of let's have a brainstorm.
Yeah, everybody in the chat and all that. What would be a better name for the Real People's Podcast? Godman's podcast with Titanium Shark and Trick Daisy and all that.
What's that person's name that just typed? Orbit nutted in my booty. What is that?
Oh my god,
Oh my
that's awesome name, dude. I'm gonna make that tune right now.
So much free time.
Is that Smile?
My booty.
That's into my booty.
I was thinking it's a dog thing.
The other podcast. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
The other podcast. The other one.
Okay, I'm outside.
Welcome back.
Where there's air.
The guy's in action, man. Action, man.
Yeah, I'm about to head home right now. So
You're out of breath, but you sound like you just got away from some kidnappers.
dude, New York City, bro. You know how it works.
Funny. Y'all know who I am. I'm interested. Who is Orbit nutted in my booty?
That's Smile.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, why else would he put his name like that?
I think that's Super Patriot because I can hear him typing, and then it
Yeah,
when he clicks it.
if you guys can see me, my hands are up in the air. I'm typing on anything.
It is John Cena. Dun, dun,
It's
dun.
So yeah, if you guys are in the chat and all that, you know, give us some new ideas. Give us some ideas for new name for Godman's podcast. You know, just so thumbs down.
We all know it's going to stay as the Real People's Podcast.
Yeah,
It's going to stay.
it's gonna stay. It's just, I honestly see it as an homage. You know, it's flattering that, you know, they would name their podcast that because, you know, Yeah, I mean, me personally, it's like I've got nothing against that podcast. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that probably think that I hate that podcast. One, if I hate that podcast, I wouldn't have gone on it.
Yeah.
Two, as far as I'm concerned, that is just one more group of people spreading the word of DCUO.
Yeah. I always watch it. Whenever there's a new episode out, I always watch it. Enjoy it as well.
One more group of people spreading the word of DCUO, getting the news out there, and letting people know the changes, the good changes that are coming, especially with PvP.
Yeah.
We're getting our PvP back, people. Next up, RPS system.
Oh, that needs to come, doesn't it?
Yeah, I swear, man.
There are so many people on the forums that are saying RPS, RPS, RPS.
Yeah.
They want it back, and they want it back bad.
You said there was they're working obviously on all the powers at the moment and PvP in general, but you said that they'll probably be working on something else next.
Well, I don't know what that next might be. I mean, I know there's a lot of people. There's people that are wanting a lot of different things brought in, changing up the toughness and health aspects of our gear, and all that. Which honestly, I hope they do next, because that would help.
Do.
That would help with arenas for one, but it also would help with the open world.
Yeah.
I really, me personally, I would have started with that first before I did any damage reduction stuff, just so we could see what kind of damage reduction ended up needing to be done. Because I'm really worried that with the way them starting with the damage reduction first, that when they go to take a look at our gear and how much damage we are mitigating. With that, changing that up, that they're going to have to go back and adjust the damages again.
Yeah.
So I'm really worried about that. But I would say probably things they're going to look at would be the gear and all that. As far as do we bring back the role specific gear? Do we change up toughness and health?
Yeah, I would say role specific gear needs to come back.
Do we change up how much damage we can take, judged based off of our gear? The RPS system, they need to bring that back. But with the RPS system, do they bring back the movement debuffs so that 1s and 2s can be balanced, as well as 4s and 5s and 8s?
Yeah. Scott DCO just said something that I was thinking about, so the counter delay.
That's
that
another
needs attention.
I think the delay has something to do with the server, the connection, and everything.
I would say PS3.
Yeah, PS3. Get rid of PS3.
One of the reasons why the counters are the way they are is because they adjusted them for latency. Me personally, if you're having latency issues, you need to work on your netcode.
Yeah.
Other games have latency issues, and they don't change up the way weapons do damage because of it. They change. They take a look at the netcode and they fix it. One game in particular I know for a fact that had netcode issues with latency was Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 had some serious latency issues with their netcode because it's like you'd be running and you'd be getting shot at, but you'd get behind cover and you'd be like, "Whew, I'm safe," and then all of a sudden, then you would get hit by all the bullets and all that, thinking you were safe and everything, but you're behind cover and you would die behind cover. That was solely based around latency issues, and that's the same issues that we were having with the counters. Me personally, you don't change the way counters work when something like that's broke. You fix your netcode. So I think they need to take a look at the netcode itself, fix that, and then put counters back to the way they were. Or at the least, make it so that when you are done, doing an attack, when you're done lunging, when you're done block breaking, when you are done blocking, especially when you let go of that block button, you cannot be block broken. That's my biggest issue. That is my biggest issue.
I actually want to throw this on the table too, if anything. What about blue immunities? Honestly, I think they should remove that, because I hate for the simple fact that the guy's like block breaking me and I'm lunging 2 times and he's still got the blue immunity kicking in, and it's like when I end up blocking I end up lunging or blocking, whatever, he starts to block break me and I'm just like, But I learned this guy
5
two
people
times.
against you and he gets always the immunity and is unkillable because one guy always did a mistake and that is also annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. I think the blue immunities. I mean, a lot of people are probably against this, but I'm not.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
it
I think
can.
that
I mean, remove it or it can stay. But let's say you can get the blue immunity every 10 seconds or something. You can't get it straight because this is a bit fucked up,
right.
you know. I mean,
It's
when they don't
it's
want to
pretty
get
annoying.
rid of it completely, then at least give it a cooldown until it can pop again. I mean, let's say for example, when you have the might necklace. It gives you a certain amount of might and then it works again in some seconds or whatsoever. They could do that, let's say, with a blue immunity, so the possibility is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. No, I agree with what he was saying there. My issue with blues. I mean, here's my thing with the blues. It's two problems in one with the blue immunities. One, it's counter immunities, so you can't get countered as long as you got the blue. And two, there's a damage mitigator in there. There's a shield. It's a temporary shield you get where you're not taking any damage at all. So, one, I think. Personally, I mean, if they're not going to completely get rid of blues, I mean, this is going to be a hot topic if they ever bring it up. If this is something they're looking at doing, this is going to be a very volatile topic among people. If they're going to remove any aspect of blue immunities, they need to take the damage mitigation out for one, because now they've already reduced the damage. They've reduced the damage that we're going to be doing in arenas. They're working on that right now. So there's no point in having that damage mitigation or that, invulnerability shield to damage from blue immunities then. Second, now, if they're taking a look at counter damage, all right, the damage you take whenever you get countered, but they're also, if they take a look at the counter mechanics themselves and everything, there won't be a need to have counter immunities once they fix the counters themselves. So, and my biggest issue with the blues has always been, one, they're easy to cheese. They're easy to cheese off of people. They're easy. It's easy to farm blue immunities, especially if you're in a 2v1 or more situation, because you're always going to find somebody who's trying to freaking block break you. Off to the side. You're always going to find somebody who's going to block to try to interrupt you. And in a 2v1 or more situation like that, there's just more people there to pick from. To catch in that. And does that take some amount of skill, to be able to fend off 2 or more people? Yeah, of course it does. But does that mean that there should be a mechanic in the game that punishes people for teamwork? No. And that's what blue immunities has turned into. It's a mechanic that punishes people for teamwork. Trying to use
to help
teamwork.
the noobs out.
No, it doesn't even help the noobs out, because half the noobs don't even understand how blue immunities work.
Especially in
That's
scrimming,
true.
when you've got someone farming blocks, farming the blue immunities.
Yeah,
and
the screen blocking?
Yeah, that's really
That's the
fucking
That's
us.
that right there. That's my other issue with it. It's like when you change focus fire onto somebody in a scrimmage match and all that, and all of a sudden they're taking a lot of damage, so they start kiting around, and they're going to turn and they're going to look for whoever they can farm screen block off of.
Yeah.
And get that immunity so they can get out of there and escape. Does that take a certain measure of skill? Maybe, but is that really something that we want to? Is that really something do we really want something cheesy like that in there? I mean, if they're good enough, they'll get away on their own. So I don't know. I mean, here's my thing. PvP was fine before blue immunities came into the game. So I don't know.
Right. I just don't know where I don't even know where blue immunities came from, because like my last scrimmage I had with this, my little beef with the league itself, when I was fighting Debo, I lunched that guy a couple of times and he didn't get knocked down for nothing. I'm just like, that blue immunity lasts over 5 seconds and he was able to like knock me the fuck out. He had like
Robocop
no
is back.
health. that blue immunity saved him. I had, I should have killed him, but yeah, he had the chance to kill me, but I'm just like, I honestly wish they take that out of the game. I know some people might like it because it's just one way to win the fight, stuff. But I think that will also balance PvP if they're with immunity, because if you're in the ground, you have a chance to get back up and try to like knock him, out basically. You know what I mean? It's just, I just think that will balance it more. Maybe the blue major malfunction, guys. You know what I mean? Blue immunity basically is just, I think it's what unbalances the PvP itself. I think, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's where it started. That's one of the things that started, us down the path that we're on right now. That made things the way they are right now. But yeah, blue immunities is something else they need to bring back. I think they need to address it. It's gonna be a very touchy and volatile subject, though.
Fiddle was gonna remove it. No, he was really that close to remove it, and a lot of people was like, no.
Oh yeah, people freaked out, and the thing that that me and several other people were trying to convey to all the people that were freaking out over it was the fact that this was just one of the first steps. That was just the first step.
And they fucked it up.
Getting fixes. Yeah, and they totally fucked it up because of the reaction that everybody had to it.
You know what it is? It's just those people those people that are freaking out. They weren't playing the game before GU41. I would say half of the community at least.
No. Here's the thing. A lot of those guys, all right, that were way against it, were completely against that change. You know what? Are all the people that are some of the most highly regarded PvPers on USPC.
Oh, that makes sense. Basically, the you know what I'm gonna say at that point. Yeah.
And to be completely honest with you, I mean, I can't say this for certain, but I can't say for certain that they had never touched arenas before Update 41, but I never heard of them, heard anything about them in arenas prior to Update 41.
So the thing is, as well, people get scared by change.
People freak out over change. People freak out over it.
I honestly love change. Yeah. If it's gonna be for the better. I mean, like right now, we're all talking about better, to better for the PvP itself. You know what I mean? To what we can do to get the the message out there. Because I know my method is kind of ruthless, guys, and I'm crazy and shit. But it's just everybody has their own method of doing things in their own ways in order to get the message out there. But let's be real. I feel like DC is a PvP biased game. I mean, it is considered an MMO action game, not an RPG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that being said, I feel like, when, like, for example, when Orbit posted one of his old 5v5 scrims, like the old days, because not a lot of people have the old videos like that, bro. And it didn't have the little logos and stuff. Like, you can't tell the person blocked or whatever. I think, honestly, those were the days where it was really competitive. Just like PvE, for example, T5 days. Whatever happened to those days where Nexus and Wave was just a challenge, you know what I mean? And then people were just crying about it like it was being too hard and they wanted to nerf it. And the minute they nerfed the raid, it's just like, it's just, they took the fun away. Yeah. They just took the fun. And then PvP, I honestly think this game went to, I'm going to say it, shit, because for the simple fact that everybody's crying about a little shit, every little shit that they can't accomplish. Look at me, for example. Look at other people. You want to beat the raid, right? You have to have a good league. You need to have communication. You need to know what you're doing with your power. You need to figure out what will benefit you of whatever power you is. What loadout that could assist other teammates and stuff. PvP is the same thing. You know what I mean? If you're not good 1v1, everybody. What people need to understand is, it takes time to get good to whatever you're good at.
Yeah.
PvP, PvE. It just takes time. You can't expect everything to happen one day. You lose, you lose.
Yeah.
You win, you win. Congratulations. You know what I mean? You're going to bounce hoops eventually. Nobody's undefeated in that game.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So I don't know who in the right mind thinks, a lot of trash talkers, man, in US PlayStation. Oh God, like let's not even go there, man. I know somebody wants to say something.
We talked about that last night, and I'll echo that here and all that. The reason why they had to. And I will say, the reason why they had to nerf Docs and Nexus was because of the simple fact that the vast majority of the people playing the game at the time, they were not going to be able to beat it. They were not going to be able to beat it, even at full tier 5 gear and all that. They weren't going to be able to beat it. And when you have a game, whether it's PC or PlayStation, on console, that is where there are other games out there, and if you run into something in a game that you're playing that you just cannot beat, and it's the only thing there to beat for a while.
True.
You can't beat it. You're gonna go off and play another game.
No, true. And you know what? I completely understand with you. The problem is people don't like to grind. Now we have these synthetics and prefabs. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, I miss having my own mods, like by grinding. Grinding is what makes you successful as a player, to be honest with you. Not just having all these things around you just to not like now that everybody has all the things around them, like everything's easy for the players to get. Like now, like they could get gear easily, PvE, be max CR by just replaying the hell out of the instance like it's nothing. Let's be honest, like the raids are not as challenging as they used to be. Not even the elites, to be honest with you.
Game is.
Yeah,
it's become.
Yeah, it's catering for the people. For like people who's not gonna, I don't know. It's just catering the people that are not gonna really play the game like that. It's just log in and log out basically. That's the kind of crowd they want to cater. You know what I mean?
Do you know the thing that's made me laugh as well?
And
survival mode out yesterday, and people
yeah.
were already up to round 9, round 10. Like,
Dude, like, I do love the chess piece, by the way.
Don't get upset, Godman. But Brittany and Select Few, they beat round 10 last night.
yeah.
I sat here and watched them do it. I was like, damn. I was like, already?
She made a video with dubstep music in that. Right?
Don't say things like that.
She
Man.
hates
That's
me.
basically Orbit's channel.
Oh, man. Dude, God.
No, see, Orbit, God Disciples, like, he's sneak dissing you right there. You see?
I'm back. Did I miss something?
Yeah, we were taking the piss out of Orbit again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry, man. I know I've said this to you before, man, but when it comes to Brittany, you're just a straight up hater. You're so freaking irrational with your hatred.
You know what it is? It's just not. I'm gonna say in this podcast too. I'm not gonna hide anything. I'm not gonna lie to you guys anything.
Nice.
I will fucking display. I will. Anyways, the reason why I make fun of, I make fun of her basically is because some of her comments, it's just like she typed a paragraph of comments to people. I'm just sitting there and reading it, and my face expression is like, what the fuck? What is wrong with her? And I'm looking at her videos and just like her posting survival mode. So, I put up some some more like part 3 shit with airplanes and stuff. And I don't know, I just decided to make fun of her, and I didn't know it was going to be that bad where she attacked me out of nowhere in the comment section. So I was like, oh shit. And it just escalated from there. And, honestly, I don't hate Brittany. Like, I hate her, like, with a passion. I just dislike the fact how she, she take things a little too serious,
Would you ever make friends? Would you ever be friends?
Well, me and Brittany?
Yeah. If you could find some sort of mutual ground.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm a reasonable person. I always look at two sides of the story. Like, Lord God Melivis is his own person. I'm just going to clear this up. What he does is what he does. I have no relation to anybody else within the group. I'm my own person at the end of the day. And my say is I look at that other, that person's side of the story, so I can look at that other side of the story to see what could be, what is the possibility for it to, to be fixed or whatever the situation is, basically. You know what I mean? I always look at both ways, basically. I don't always focus on one thing because I'm not a one-sided person. You know what I mean? There's always a reason why that person is doing what, you know what I mean? It's just, but I think so, honestly. If she ever comes up to me and just say, hi, I'll be like, yo, what's up? How you doing?
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you're at least willing to like squash it at least. Yes.
Brittany knows I'm good looking, so it's just. Fun,
yeah.
I know you like that.
Maybe this is the week of making friends, making up.
Yeah.
Putting
a lot of people make up last time.
putting past problems behind us.
Hmm.
Oh, she could be
What
a
about
stealing
you and
machine.
GOH, God?
As well, you two carry.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about.
Oh
sending-
yeah,
I was thinking about.
yeah,
sending-
God disciple. I actually wanted to come to the Real People's Podcast show, but
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't know. You know,
I would.
it's,
That is
I don't know.
a
I don't
big
know what's
reason why I wouldn't come on.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like I said, I'm my own person. Like everybody else is there, but everybody has a different story at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just there talking about the game, and I guess a little shit talking aside. Like, I mean, who doesn't? You know what I mean? But you know, I don't know what's the real beef between you and GOH gamers. So, you know, I don't really know what's going on. You know, I'll be
That's
honest
Oh,
with
you haven't seen the
It's bad talk, eh?
you haven't seen the 15 videos, the Orbit and God Disciple playlist on his channel.
Orbit posts a lot of videos, man. So sometimes I when I have the chance, I'll try to like watch as much as he whatever he
He's
posts.
talking about GOH's videos. GOH has done like, I swear to God, he's done an
I saw
anthology.
the one where
He's done an anthology on freaking on God's
Orbit
Disciple Orbit, man.
oh shit.
You know, and I gotta tell you, Orbit, hats off to you for being the only person that would get GOH Gamer to do a video defending the game.
Holy crap.
The dude does nothing but trash talk the game on every video he posts about it. But one video, he did a video defending the game. You know, and and shit, all because he wanted to post a video disagreeing with Orbit.
So let's say, for example,
Yeah.
let's say, for example, Orbit will say, the Watchtower is full, stop complaining, the game is great. Then you will think he will make it completely different when he will be like,
Yeah.
nah, bullshit, see how dead it is. Why you always lying? You know, something
That's
like
funny.
that, you know?
I ain't gonna lie, GOH Gamer is pretty funny in his own ways though. Like he's a funny dude, man. Like what he does and shit.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, we sit here and laugh on a weekly basis at the Drake videos.
Yeah, the first time I saw that, I almost literally pissed my pants. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I mean,
And then we saw you and Brady up there. I was like, "Ah!" I just couldn't, man.
we will be sitting here talking. It's like me and Gods will be like in a serious discussion about something, and then I'll look at the Twitch chat, and there's freaking Orbit's head on Drake just doing the bling dance, you know.
Hey, for Orbit, you know what? I would say look at the bright side. At least you could get chicks. You know what I mean? That's the good thing about being Drake, basically. you know what I mean? People say I look like J. Cole or Orlando Bloom or what's the other one? James Franco. So I get those three most of the time whenever they see when people see me on the camera or whenever I do turn on my camera to do live streams, which I'm starting to get into that more. Live streaming like games, like other games like Call of Duty and stuff. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. What happened, Falcon? Did I scare you?
No. I just listen. I don't know what's about. I just say, friendly.
Like.
No. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I swear Go Gamer, like, he'll run out of ideas for a video and then he'll, like, watch my latest one and then just whatever I'm talking about at the time, he'll just disagree with it and that's his next video.
One of his videos got flagged. I remember that. It was with Spittle Map, something there. He told
Oh, the
story.
Pokemon one. Yeah, the Pokemon one
not
where
the Pokemon one. I think it was where I don't know if I can say it actually loud what happened, but you see doggy style. I just say that. Maybe you saw that.
GOH needs to learn that there's a difference between harassment and satire, and satire when satire pushed too far can be, harassment, and YouTube doesn't play around with that stuff. I don't know who flagged it. If the devs flagged it,
Yeah, it was the devs.
they flagged
Yep.
it. If Fiddle or Meps flagged it, they flagged it. But yeah, I mean, there's some things you can't put on YouTube. I mean, YouTube's not. I mean, YouTube's there for And this is the thing that always cracks me up about people. This is the thing that always cracks me up about people that make these complaints about being banned from the forums or having a video flagged and taken down on their YouTube and everything. People are like, oh, YouTube's against free speech. Oh, they're taking away our First Amendment rights. You don't have any First Amendment rights on YouTube or on people's forums because every company has a terms of service agreement, and you agree to abide by those terms. When you are posting, content on their service. The First Amendment guarantees that the government will not make any laws impeaching on your First Amendment, on your right for freedom of speech. Not that some companies are going to say, no, you can't call me an asshole on my forums.
Oh man, this stuff is funny though. At the same time,
I do love. I gotta be honest. I do love a bit of DC beef. It does. Right?
Yeah, it's just have its flavor to it. Without beef on DC Universe, it's just gonna be like, okay, what's next? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know a single game that has quite the beef YouTube battles like DC.
I don't know if you guys ever followed this guy Guns for Hire. He used to be with Next Gen Tactics, and he split off from that. They used to do a lot of Call of Duty videos and stuff like that. They would do like strategy videos and talking about different ways to make maps and everything like that.
Yeah.
But Guns for Hire, he posted up a video recently talking about the most toxic communities in video games. And DCUO was not, one of the games he talked about.
Then they have no clue. No clue.
Yeah, but I mean, other games he talked about. I mean, Call of Duty, Halo, Destiny. I mean, you're gonna find this type of stuff. And even as bad as it's gotten, on DCUO, you're gonna find stuff just as bad as that on the forums and in game. With any multiplayer game, with any game that's got an adversarial component in it, where people are fighting against other people, you're gonna find a toxic element with it. Dark Horse watched that video and he liked it, and that's how I found it. And I watched it and I liked it too.
Thing is, with DC, the community is so small, so it's like in Call of Duty, and someone uploads a video, you probably won't see it. But if you upload someone on DC, the chances are the league will pass on the message or you'll see it, and that's why it's so bad, because it's such a small community and everyone finds out about every video. Minecraft
has a hugely toxic side of the community.
Such a weird community, to be honest with you.
They're only like 12 years old, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's like grown people playing that game. They're like, "You ready to build a house? Yeah, let's build like a logger next to it or something in a farm of horses." It looks like you're playing a Nintendo 64 game. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the fuck?
Is that a Britney voice you just put on there?
No. Not yet.
That's
I'll do
Britney
it. This is the Britney voice right here. Hey guys, it's Brittany. Beautiful video for you guys. Hang on, let me play my dubstep song over here.
Why is to review in the dubstep? You've got like a hatred towards dubstep.
Seriously, hold on a second. I'm gonna find this out.
Hey, you know what? She gives me a kiss in the cheek. I'm like, all right, Brittany, we cool. That's it. Kiss me in the cheek and we good. But like a good one,
The guy's making here porn cast, man. This is casting couch.
What? Isn't that a podcast? It's not a podcast, man. No way. Then I'm
the kiss on the cheek. Okay, they say, but the real good one.
Is Balkan jealous?
No, don't worry. You can have it. She's full yours. Don't worry.
Sweet. But I just think, the game, like DC itself, with the beef is what keeps the game alive, really. PvP videos, like me against Nirvana's my own league, that kind of went up, it was just a surprise to people, like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, people like to see stuff like that. Like, it's okay to post PvE videos, how to like beat the raid, you know, or have building up your own custom loadout, which I know you guys miss doing those kind of videos because ever since Advanced Mechanic dropped, you can't really build a custom loadout besides whatever updates they come out with. You got to just change one or two things, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like PvP is what keeps the game alive itself, because 5v5 scrimmages, you know what I mean? You set up a tournament. Hold up, guys. There's cops in my background. You know, it's part of living Brooklyn life over here.
You get swatted.
But
now.
yeah, it's just I'm being hunted by the cops. But yeah, really, it's just it keeps the game alive. You know, and without PvP in DC Universe, I think the game would be complete crap. I mean, I don't know. You guys could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it'll just be complete shit. You know, that's why I make videos about, you know, like my own method. I would say my own crazy method. Like, come on, guys. You know, it's been over a year. Like let's get this shit going. You know what I mean? Like, what's taking them so long to, you know, come out with a PvP update? You know what I mean? It's been over 6 months. We should have been having season, you know, new season gear. We should have been having these updates in general. You know what I mean? Because then we would not lose so many people in the community. Now they're starting to come back because they're hearing that the PvP is, you know, the new PvP update's coming, which is already in the test server. Now everybody's like, okay, we could kind of come back and try to play the game.
Yeah, I think the thing about DC as well is like the PvP, when it is good, it is so good, man. Like the actual like fighting mechanics of the game, it's so much better than any other sort of game on this sort of scale for PvP wise.
Like League of Legends, if anything. Like the competition itself is like League of Legends. You know what I mean? I'm not comparing the combat system or the engine itself, but like community wise, when it comes to competitive players, it's like League of Legends. Because there's a whole bunch. League of Legends is a bigger community, I believe so, and it just has more. It's more competitive. It's just they take that shit to a whole nother level where people meet up in real life and go into some worldwide tournament and they win freaking like 100K cash, you know, prizes and shit. You know what I mean? But I want DC to get into that level too. Believe it or not, because it's like when I look at DC, I look at it as an arcade Street Fighter / Tekken style. I don't look at it as anything else. You know what I mean? I just look at it as. It's just because it has its own flavor that no other games have. That's why I feel like DC has its own potential to any other games. But I just feel like they're listening to the wrong people because like I said, a lot of people just keep fucking crying about little shit that is not even that serious, and then look what happens. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've got my own theory about, you know, what was behind it. You know, a lot of people say I don't know where they get it from. You know, so many people are out there saying it's like, you know, Super Patriot. He endorsed, you know, everything in Update 41. Now, the only thing I was 100% behind in Update 41, the only thing I was 100% behind in Update 41 were the styles for the gear. That was it. The fucking Gotham Knight and Hush gear, is awesome gear. Some of the best styles.
Okay,
in the
you
game.
know what? I'm gonna give him my thumbs up because I love fighting with dual pistols. That's like my second favorite weapon for PvP, and not a lot of players that go with it. But I just enjoy dual pistols. It's just so fun for PvP with me, and that Hush style, it just add up well with it. Thank you for you know, thank you.
I mean, but I had nothing to do with picking the styles. Let me make that clear. I had nothing to do with picking the styles. That was just the only thing that was 100%, you know, behind, you know, and agreed with. You know, one of the changes they made was introducing them as the styles.
Right.
But you know, I mean, I was not for anything that was in. I mean, the agnostic gear. You know, I took a wait and see thing on that. But when they talked about taking the RPS system out, I was like, why? Why? It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, you know, honestly, this is my theory on this too. When they did release GU41, I believe actually PvP was actually balanced due to the weapon mastery. Now, what I mean by that is weapon mastery was not hitting hard because the gear was able to handle weapon mastery itself. But then they decide to nerf it because people was complaining. But I didn't see anybody in the forums complaining about that. Meps or whoever posted in the forums a while ago, they were like, "We heard you loud and clear. We have nerfed weapon mastery," and 30 people give it a like. I was like, "What?
See,
why?"
I'm gonna interject my theory on this whole thing. All right, is why Update 41 was the way it was, and I want to say it had a lot to do with certain players who were known for their Legends PvP play. All right, that were looking to get into arenas but didn't like the aspects of the way things were done in arenas, as far as RPS system, the role-specific gear, and a lot of the team play that resulted out of those two things, especially the RPS system, the strategies that came out of those, and the team aspect of those things.
Right.
Players that were known for their Legends PvP play, that didn't like those things that made arenas what they were, but wanted to be able to start getting into arenas, and I think that they had a lot of influence in getting those things taken out for Update 41. Personally, that's the way I honestly feel about it. Because, like I said, some of those guys that were known for are known for their PvP ability on USPC right now. As far as I knew, I had never heard of them, entering into arenas at all until Update 41 happened.
You know what? It's like I would say this. It's like I would say it like this. Who the fuck are who are they? You know what I mean? Honestly, like
I know who they are. I mean, but
like as in like
because
we have more. Our population is bigger than theirs on the US PC than compared to US PlayStation. Believe it or not, you know what I mean. And my theory too, I agree with you. I'm not going to deny on that. I could see that because a lot of people complain. I get to see people complaining because when they lose, they'll just be like, "Oh, fuck this game!" They'll throw the control against the wall and shit, and they go on the forums and waste like an hour trying to type a whole huge freaking paragraph instead of just playing the damn game and try to get better at it. My theory is I feel like they plan this out, not just to cater those kind of people, but more of to try to put in advanced mechanics so they can make money off of power tokens. That's just my theory, though. That I feel like that was just the whole plot of it at the same time, like because ever since they Gadgets was the first, Gadgets had his first advanced mechanic, yeah, right. I mean, Gadgets always had its own advanced mechanic, and they were like, oh, why not have other powers do the same thing? You know what I mean? Then Harlight came and play, and then Rage and all the other powers, and it just became a power token fest where everybody's the same power, and it was just hard to do PvP.
All powers were going to get an advanced mechanic. All powers were going to get an advanced mechanic, not just Gadgets. Because Gadgets and Fire were the first two. Honestly,
blob break. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think power should blob break. I just think power should just be a power. You use your power to hit them. That's it. You want a blob break, just hold triangle. You know what I mean? Weapon Master was a cool idea, to be honest with you. I like Weapon Master because it just feels different. It feels like you could do more combos. You know what I mean? Like you could kill them in a cool way. But at the same time, advanced mechanics was like they block break players like Mental. Like I remember when Mental received their first advanced mechanics itself, that shit hit like 30 to 60K. PvP or PvP, doesn't matter. That shit hits hard, and you could block.
Mental was horrible. The advanced mechanics in PvP,
fucking crazy, dude. I was just like, wow. And then people were just abusing it, and it's just, and then the supercharge glitches and all. It's just a lot of people got tired of it, and they just decided just to say, fuck this game, I'm out, and. I was like that for 2 months ago. You know what I mean? I was just like, where is the PvP update? Where are we going to, because you can't just focus on two sides at the end of the day. You can't cater, more, like I always bring up the kid, the brother and the sister. You can't cater one child. You have to cater those two so you could give them the same love so they both feel loved. You know what I mean? And that's what the developers need to understand. Developers have two kids. You have a son and a daughter. Give those two kids love, and then the game will kind of get back to its own pace in time. It will take a while for it to rebuild, but I don't expect, I'm glad they brought in this PvP in the test server. Honestly, I'm freaking happy. When I heard that shit, I was like this. Wow. I clapped by myself clapping because I'm just like, now they finally freaking listen to us. It's just Jesus, man. You guys know what I mean. It's just the frustration is real, man, because I actually like this game. I never feel so hyped over a game that I enjoy, you know what I mean? Besides, like Jak and Daxter or Crash Bandicoot, the old school games, but this game right here is where it's at for me. I it's what got me into playing, more crazy ass games and shit. So, but I'm just, like I said, I'm happy. I mean, now they're working on PvP. I just hope they continue and they don't stop till next year. I just hope they don't do that kind of shit, because then I'm gonna be like, oh, but oh, But yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, like we've been saying, this change they got on there right now. It's the first step. I think it's a good step. Not necessarily the first step I would have taken, but it was definitely a step they needed to take.
oh yeah.
But so I mean, we got good things are ahead. Good things are ahead, and hopefully SJ Nerd of Prey, the new creative director for the game, and all that, she's been talking up a storm about not exactly what, but how huge of a year 2016 is going to be for DC, not just DCUO, but for the comics, the movies. I mean, that Batman vs Superman movie's coming out. Maybe we get to see some tie-ins with that and everything like that. I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff.
Give Superman more love. Wonder Woman is.
Thank you. Nah, Wonder Woman's.
I want
Wonder
more
Woman's
Batman
the bay,
content.
but
We don't have enough, to be
More-
honest.
shut up.
More Batman content. Have a Superman versus Batman content. You know what I mean? So they can, you know what I mean? Have something cool. for the
It's
game,
Batman
you know what I
versus
mean?
Superman. Sorry, say it right. Left.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry about.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Nah, joke.
But no, I'm just if they're gonna do the episodes, do something creative. Like you could go based on the comments, but throw a little side story and shit. You know what I mean? But like I said, a 16 player is not a bad idea. Just throwing it out there. 16 player.
Oh
rating
yeah,
is not
16 player raids would be awesome if they could do it. It would
Just
be awesome.
all you need is 8 players just to queue up an instance and wait for another 8 player to queue up fastest, and you guys will end up being in the same area, and have like in the open world boss where you have this big humongous freaking monster or some crazy. They could do so many stuff. You could fight Cerberus in the open world and like
technically we kind of had that with the operations when they first dropped, because those the Hand of Fate operations and everything like that. All the bosses were out in open
which is
world.
a cool idea. But I feel like it should be.
There was a lot of issues with those. There was a lot of issues with those. One was if you got like 5 raid groups there in one area and all that, people would lag out. They ended up missing out on loot and everything like that. Yeah, this PS3 issues. Yeah.
No way,
Another thing too with the issues with that was a lot of the griefing that was going on. I mean, you'd have I'll straight up admit I was guilty of doing it on occasion. I would go over in Robinson Park, and there'd be raid groups over there trying to do seeds, and they were trying to do it in PvP phase. Why, I don't know, because I would just sit up there and just like continuously block break the tank.
I know what you mean.
I'll see you, right? You see, Super Patriot, right?
Funny, man. It was funny, and it was done to me a few times too, man. I'd be tanking Tala out there in open world, and freaking all of a sudden I was like, man, what the hell just block broke me? What the hell, man? I just got block broke again. I just got block broke again, and I look at the map, and there's like one red dot way up in the air, and I'm like, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, and even in PvE phase, you would have people come over, and start healing up all the ads. Like I was joking with Balkan last night. He was leveling up his tune, and I was like, I'm gonna get on my hero healer. I'm gonna heal all the ads.
Yeah.
That you're fighting. I was like,
I remember that as well. I got to be honest, I was guilty of doing that, healing up the ads.
Yeah.
In operations when they first come out. But I'd love to see like a merge, like some sort of instance where the heroes and villains actually work together.
Or like Wabaka said, 4 on the hero and then 4 on the villain.
Exactly.
And and honestly, I think they should merge the server, but not completely, but merge to where we could queue up with like the EU players in the instance. So we can end up being the same instance instead of just being the same. Like, if that makes any sense to you guys, you know what I mean? Like, if we want to just to make the queue a lot more quicker in case nobody, everybody's if somebody's lazy to looking for group, which everybody's just usually focused on new content and survival mode as we speak. But like I said, I mean that would be cool. Honestly, Balkan, that's a good idea, man. I would love to see some shit like that.
I mean, technically, we kind of are getting that now, because I was helping a buddy of mine that came back to the game. I was helping him to get geared up, so I was like queuing in like tier 5 stuff with him and everything. And we went into Nexus, and I was like, "Oh, hey, look, I'm talking to future Lex and not future Batman here."
Yeah.
So we're technically we've got that now with the cross faction and everything,
But
but
like a specific instance
oh, yeah,
aimed
specific
to be in
guys.
that way.
Today,
that's what I mean, dude. Seriously, long time ago, man, long time ago, when I first started doing the source cast with Trexley, a long time ago, we had like a big summit with the other two podcasts that were going on at the same time and I talked about, I was like, what I wanted to see for the final, some way that they could do it for the final fight with Brainiac was, we would have exactly what Balkan said. We would have, four heroes, four villains, in a raid together fighting, Brainiac.
Well, that's the whole storyline, isn't it?
That would have been so epic with Prime Battleground.
Yeah.
If we could have done something like that. But at the time and all that, with all with the way things were, because so much has changed since then. There would have been griefing in that too. I was like, you'd have had people, voting to kick out all the heroes, trying to get nothing but villains. And you'd have people needing on gear they didn't.
It's like that. It's like that even without that, man. It's like that without that. Like when I joined the group, I had like 3 people like, "Oh, Godman's in the group. Kick this dude out. This guy's a bum." I'm like, "Well, I love you guys too." And, I get booted out. I was like, "Fuck you." I just like whatever.
Yeah.
It's just. Like I said, the community is toxic, all right? There's a lot of assholes. That's why I'm like that myself because, my villains episode, there's just a fucking load of people just rage over something. And I troll, you know what I mean? Just because I know that person's going to get pissed off. Like, I immediately read I could read their personality. I'm like, I know this guy's going to get mad. So I just pissed them off from there. And you just hear them screaming at mic and everything. It's just like, wow. what you could really do in the game. It's just amazing. But
I'm guilty of doing that.
Like really, right now I would focus more PvP at the moment. Step by step. Then once PvP settled, then they could focus on what they could do to improve PvE. Besides this 8 players, because I'm not gonna lie to you, survival mode is cool and all. It's a little different, but it's not as complicated as it's supposed to be. And it gets a little boring. Like, new content, like the episode 20 with the Black Lanterns, and I forgot their names because I haven't played the game for a while, so I don't know the comment by heart. But the episode 20 with the Black Lantern, like, they looks like a Reaper and stuff. That looks nice. You know what I mean? The area itself looks nice. Necron, yeah, that looks nice.
I can't wait to do that raid. I cannot wait to do that raid.
Yeah, that looks nice. So I'm not gonna lie. That's thumbs up. You know what I mean? But I would just want them to involve more in PvE. You know what I mean? PvP is fine, like the wards and everything. It's just amazing. Like, Orbit, let's be real. If they merge the server, okay, I will gather like over 100 of villains. You gather over 100 of heroes. Our faction and your faction will go against each other like it's nothing. It'll be a freaking a battlefield, dude.
You'd get wiped.
It'll be crazy.
What did you say, Orbit?
No, you guys will get wiped. You guys will get wiped. I want to, you know what?
I would
server because I don't want them to merge the server now because I know the villains. I'm a villain. I look at myself as a villain warlord. So at the end of the day, villains have its. We got strong PvPers over here, man, in our server. So, villains all the way for the people that's watching. That's all I gotta say.
What I would pay for EU and US PS to merge together. That would be so good.
It will keep the freaking community active, and it's just besides people queuing up for arenas. Like, at the end of the day, arenas is important in the game, but it's just like, if the servers merged, I could see Orbit gather all his hero buddies, and I could gather all my villain buddies. Hey, Orbit, you want to meet a fight club? Come on, Mike. Fuck you. All right, let's go. We'll all come over there. Holy shit! It'll be it'll be a battlefield all over the place. Yeah, it'll be a little laggy because of your connection. If you have
the PS3 guys will get there, and then all they'll see is a puff of smoke come out of their PlayStation 3. Just.
You hear their fire alarm going on.
That is how we get all the PS3 players to buy PS4s. Open World Wars. Do it.
How are people still playing PS3
that's
now?
awesome. People love that shit. People love open world PvP. I can guarantee you about 100%, 109% of that. I always get tells. Like, to this day, when I log back on, they're like, "You know what make our day great, Godman? What is that? Doing another PvP war." I would love to, fellas, but there's really not a lot of people like there used to be. And it's just the population on our server now is just people chilling Chinatown, just talking shit in versus chat. That's it. Like, what else is there to do? You know what I mean? There's nobody Fight Club, Little Bohemia. It's all dead. You know, it's just and the reason why they're doing this PvP update so we could go back to that page. So we could do wars again and then evolve PvP from there. Because I know Meps was there a couple of times spawning Cerberus and freaking like ads and stuff as he was doing the war. Like he was there watching and he was like, wow, this is cool. You know, like I bet Meps was surprised of what the community was, you know, going through. Because it wasn't like that years ago. I mean, but it was not as active.
Meps loves doing that shit.
Yeah, I know he does. It was just not as active as, you know, as before. Until like, you know, I'm like, you know what? Why don't we do something new? And everybody's like, what? I'm like, why don't we fucking just starship with the heroes? You know, they always sitting in a fight club, just acting like they're the hot shit with the Captain Code. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't even get me started.
Come on, dude. The villains wear that shit too, man. Don't even.
I'm just like, and they're all like,
we talked about this before on this show about the standard uniform of 1v1ers: Captain Cold Hoodie, Guy Gardner chest, and the kick me sign. You know, I was like, you had to have this.
That chest, the Doomsday's spike back.
Yeah, I see that.
The flirty stand, the punchline boots. And they got the Scarecrow Cleave sword or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah, Scarecrow's Cleave.
They glow skin with the Captain Cold Glasses, and they're usually short too. So I call them mini-me's.
Yeah,
the mini-me's are like, if this guy's talking shit, I know he's wearing a Captain Cold hood. It's just weird, but it's like it's part of the race in the game. You know, like if you know what I mean. It's like you're talking to goblins, fucking trolls itself. They look like trolls.
It's absolutely no uniqueness among any of those kids. They all got the same weapons. They're all the same power. You know, and you can't be older than 16.
And usually they sound like grown people. I'm just like, You know what I mean? This is question myself, like, what the fuck? You know, it's just crazy, man. And you know, now like today, you know, I win a lot of my scrimmages, but there's a point where I fuck up. You know what I mean? And I lose my my moment of, you know, by losing the scrim. You know, I always have my moments where I fuck up. I know you guys, you know, when you guys do PvP, you're going to eventually lose. You're going to eventually fuck up. You know, nobody is, you know...
Undefeated, yeah.
Undefeated, yeah. Nobody is. I mean, I don't know, you know, people who talk a lot of shit in the versus chat, trade chat, and then, like, you know, if I say something like, hey, guys, hey, Godman, you suck balls, man. You're no good. You're not real. Scrim me. I'm like... No, you know, I just don't give the people the
I mean,
buzz
if you wouldn't be good, why they want to fight you then? That means they are shit and want to fight shit players.
Exactly.
So what? Nah, this is stupidity.
Yeah. It's stupidity, and it's just I'm trying to get a buzz up for you. And you know, I don't mind scrimmaging people. I did a lot of friendly scrims. You know what I mean? And rarely I lose. You know what I mean? Rarely. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but like rarely I do end up fucking up, and I'm just like, you know what? Good fight. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just even if you do good or bad, people will always consider you a fucking garbage player. Even if you do good or bad, doesn't matter. They'll just think you're still trash. And I'm just like, okay, thank you for putting your, you know, thank you for thinking about me. You know, I love that. You know, it just shows that people love me nowadays. You know, because you're thinking about me. You know, but. Well, we all could agree that Nimbus Jost is actually trash, though. I mean, that guy.
Here's the thing about Nimbus. All right, here's the thing about Nimbus. It's something that people have always freaking misunderstood about Nimbus. And you know, I know Balkan and Orbic, they can sit here and they'll agree with me on this. Nimbus talked a good game, but he knew he was mostly talk. He really knew he was mostly talk.
I'm gonna give you props, dude. Fist internet pound. Good job for fucking him up because he would never fight him. I come to my party once in blue. He's like, "That's Godman, it's people's champ." He just rants about calling himself people's champ.
That was the days of PvP that I loved around about that time, and that was the day before Weapon Mastery came out. That day.
Yeah.
That was the day before.
Good job on that, bro. You made that guy quit.
The last good match.
They
man.
shut down his ego. He went straight to Warframe.
Nimbus, dude, seriously, Nimbus knew he bit off more than he can chew with all that. He knew that. I mean, come on.
My first leader is like he's the leader of the clan of Warframe. He's really good and he's like really big. And he was my first leader on DC called Blood Money Hitman. And the co-leader's Inuyasha, which, we was cool, and then we ended up fucking having beef, like, for example, Orban Smile Before Death, but we took it to a whole nother level. We started making real life videos of each other. I don't know if you guys seen that. We started dissing each other. It was crazy, you know what I mean? We just brought it to that level. But like my leader his name was Gunplay, I believe so. Yeah, Gunplay. And he was a good leader, you know what I mean? And he just quit DC because he feels like the changes was unnecessary. He didn't like the weapon master. He didn't like the changes, period. So he left, went to Warframe, and he just been playing for 2 years straight of Warframe. And then it's just like buddies with him. And I'm just like, fuck. That means I'm just not happy about it. But I mean, hey, as long as you don't, come at me like he did at one point, then I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because everybody is different. You know what I mean? Like, you have every right to like somebody as you please. You know what I mean? You can't just dislike that person because that person likes that person now. You know what I mean? It's just, it's just whatever. But he's still trash to me.
Yeah.
That's all.
What's Nimbus doing these days?
Warframe.
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 What else has he been playing?
Little Big Planet.
I miss his videos though, man. I miss them.
I know. Dude, Dude, when Nimbus got a PVR, I told him, I was like, get rid of that thing. Because I told him, I was like, you are not known for fucking goddamn, DVR or, PVR videos with good quality recording and all that. You got to bust out that cell phone and just lay it out there, man. That's what you are known for. Go back to your roots, Nimbus. I always told him that. Go back to your roots, man. That's what everybody knew and loved you for. Just the shit talking, beat them one-handed.
Yeah, let me tell you something. All right, this is how I knew Nimbus Yo's. Okay, hear my side of the story in this. All right, I met this guy 2 years ago myself. All right, I didn't know he had a YouTube. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. Okay, and I saw him in a party chat. So he was like, "Who is this Godman 333?" I'm like, "I'm the guy who walks in water and holds bread and shit." He was like, "Oh, you're being a smartass." I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" You know what I mean? Like, I gave him an out-of-turn return, and he chills with like, this girl named Pseudo Kitty and Godly Ice and a couple other players. So I was just there chilling, and he just started trash talking me. I was like, "No, we're not having this shit today." We was going at it for at least 30 minutes, I would say, and they had to kick me out of the party because they just couldn't shut me up. You know what I mean? I just, it's. And I saw him again the next day, and then it was just like we just started going at each other. And ever since then, I haven't seen him for like a year or so until now, And now he's like buddy with my one of my close leader friend. I'm just like, fuck. Now that guy's gonna be around for quite a while. So, but he was. I look at him as a troll. You know what I mean? He's a clown.
Godman.
Huh?
What league are you in?
Technically I'm in no league. I was supposed to. I believe one of the leaders want me back in Nirvana's. One of the Nirvana's, yeah. You know what's a Nirvana, right? I guess.
Yeah, Nirvana's. I know who they are.
Yeah, they want to like the top villains league. I guess whatever wave docs, whatever you want to call it, but. I just had a problem not too long ago with them over some stupid shit, but everything's just been calming down. I already handled my beef, so I squashed everything. But technically, I'm in no league. Why? What's up?
I was just wondering. I didn't know what league you were in. That's all.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I was thinking of making my own league at one point, but I'm just sitting here like thinking to myself,
is it worth? Forget it.
Is it worth the time and stress?
It is so much work, man.
Yeah, I could believe that. I could lead and stuff like that, but I'm the type of guy, if I have so many people knowing the shit out of me, I'm just going to just turn off the game and just go do something else. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what, fuck this. I think, honestly, if I'm going to build a league, I'm just going to need the right people with the same mindset in order to help me progress to that level. You know what I mean? You can't do everything on your own. That's how I look at it, but...
You just need about 3 or 4 people with on the same mindset as you. That's all you just need a little core team to start.
You got a good start with YouTube as well. People seem to join leagues.
But mate, like it's rare to find any loyal players, mate. So they'll jump in, they'll jump out when they balcony.
Shut up.
Dude, you know that's what it is. It really is.
Yeah,
And-
they'll
and, you know,
jump
some
in,
people
they'll
just-
jump out. One day you'll be doing collaborations with them on YouTube. Next day you won't be.
You try to tell them, hey man, I'm trying to build this league up, and they're like, yeah, I understand, cool. They leave the next day. I'm just like, well, that was a waste. Of
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just people are they just want everything to happen one day. It's just like when it comes to building a good league, you know, it takes time to gather the people, the good players around. It just doesn't happen in one day. And a lot of people have that mindset where everything's supposed to happen in one day. You know what I mean? But it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I think
Sometimes you'll get people's like, oh my god, I had this guy do this the other day or a couple weeks ago. Like, you know, my league is like hurting for healers right now. I mean, hurting bad for active healers. Like, you know, the most active healers we have in my league right now are alts, right? And so we invited this one guy in as he was a healer, and I was like, fucking hey, dude, you are gonna get so much fucking work. You know, I told him you're gonna get so much work, right? So then we go to run the alert with him, you know, one day, and I was like, dude, you want to come heal this? He's like, oh, I'm hard like now. I'm like, what?
Oh god.
He's like, I've been healing since I started playing this game. I just wanted to try something different. And I'm like, dude, make an alt.
you know what it is.
Did you keep him in the league or
honestly,
did you kick him?
He's still in the league. Yeah, 'cause I'm not-
I'd be like, get out of here.
I'm not
Save
gonna.
yourself the trouble.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
be an asshole and kick him out. Well, you're not a healer anymore. Get the fuck out of here, then. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I
let
mean,
me tell you something. It's just because everybody switched to tile making. Like, it's hard to find the roles. That's why I love being a mental player. And I troll in PvE, believe it or not. I could DPS. Everybody wants me to be, have a DPS gear because I have like 3 armories, but the third one I don't do anything with it unless I, change the PvP weapon. But like, my thing is, why should I DPS? Yeah, mental is freaking badass. It hits hard still and stuff with advanced mechanic and everything. I would love to do that. I would enjoy DPSing with that. But my thing is, why would I do that if everybody else is DPS? Support roles is what is needed now. You know what I mean? That's why I troll. You know what I mean? And I mainly solo troll things, and I'm good at it. But
well, that's like with all my alts, I concentrate on getting gear for their main role instead of DPS gear. Because, the support roles, the main roles are the ones that people are always trying to find. And, the tanks, the trollers, the healers. Drops, vendor gear, that all goes towards my, main role first before anything else.
That doesn't really make sense to me, if I'm honest. And the only reason I'm saying that is because obviously with your CR is really important when you're DPSing.
Right.
When you're trolling, it's not. So that's what I tend to do. Is like all the drop gear, all the best drop gear will go straight into DPS, and then
for my main, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. All the drop gear goes to my DPS, and I use vendor gear for my tank gear.
Yeah.
But for my alts, though, because I don't want to have to grind up all the the same amount of marks to get all the vendor gear, and then run it to get all the the drop gear for DPS and everything. I just run their main role on those tunes, and that's all I do with them.
Yeah.
Most unless I'm trying to get through some of the duos or something like that to get marks and everything.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Black
So
Canary.
all fucking screwed, man. He's got fucking Green Arrow and Black Canary on him. Run, fucking
I
run.
see that.
Pop that distract and get out of there, man.
Yeah, get out of there, Bob.
Now I'm
before you
going on
get
the
beaten
forums
up
and
on them.
complaining
Yeah,
of that.
Yeah, you're dead. But like I said, guys, this game, it has its potential, and I know we all could agree that we want what we want, and that right now it's PvP. It's needed, you know what I mean? It's just PvP. All the way, developers, PvP all the way. Keep going. And definitely, if you're going to add new episodes, I believe you guys forgot to mention this, bring in a PvP map with that. Add in a side storyline to like a PvP map like Owen Science Cell. Add special Black Lanterns effects around it where people can scrimmage within the Owen Science Cell or something different, you know what I mean? Like
That has to be the next map, doesn't it?
that happens like so I could scrimmage, one of the jerks in that game and just right there, you know what I mean? Just have a team deathmatch score and just go at it, you know what I mean? Just a
It would be
1v1.
it would be sick, yeah, just to have it as like a
Just
like a
have it,
death
just
match, and
space.
then just have
Owen
It's like you're in an
Science
arena,
sells.
yeah.
Owen
Man,
Science
Make
sells
it a
Yes.
Royal
yes,
Rumble
the-
every time from the door other player jumps out.
No, just like
Yeah,
have it like a death match, but then just have like in Shadowlands when you've got the ads that pop up. Just have like that. Just have man.
Nah, I hate the
No,
ads.
don't do that.
No,
No, don't do that.
Shadowlands sucks.
Do not
No.
pervert my
That's-
Owen Science cells, sir. Do not pervert my Owen Science cells TDM map.
Do
All
it.
right.
Hey, he's a god. He's a god. He can make things happen. He's a god. But no, but we need a map like that. So you can do 5v5s in there and just fucking have it there. Just have it there. You know what I mean? Instead of a watchtower, have it all inside so everybody could just be there and just like, you know what I mean? Just get in there, and just brawl, like just fuck each other up, man. Just go at it. You know what I mean? Just smack them. That's what light players like. It's we all like that, you know. So
Yeah.
I think they should keep that in mind. You know, nerd prey. You know, think about that.
Planting the seed.
Yeah, it will benefit. It basically will cater two sides, really, if you think about that. Bring in the maps, you know, instead of just focusing on a PvP DLC, just why don't you just bring out DLC focus on both? I mean, that would make more sense. No?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we have to keep in mind too is that games evolve and they evolve with their player base. Unfortunately, a lot of the veterans, from this game that started at launch, they're not around anymore, and the people that started up around free to play and everything, those are the ones that are kind of dominating. The majority of the community right now. So things have to evolve with that change of base community. So I mean that's one thing people have to keep in mind. So I mean some changes are going to come about. Nerfing of the content and everything, content not being as difficult as it used to be. Those things are going to change. To suit the majority of the community like that. So I mean that's one thing we have to keep in mind. I mean we may not like it, but it's something we have to adjust to and adjust to. So we have to be able to adapt just as much as
Like it's a good
fight for the things that we want.
Yeah. I love saying that word. But like seriously,
But you need to hear how Patriot said. He's like, so quick, he like special,
yeah,
man, special.
It's on a pet shock type of quick, But my thing is, now they're coming out with a PvP update. I think that's gonna track the veterans back. Like,
I hope it does. I hope it's not too
and
big.
it is. In time, if they focus more on PvP, it will. That's what I'm trying to get. It will rebuild most of it, at least. You can't expect to fix it and be completely it's not gonna be repaired completely. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be where it could still be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in time, if they just keep updating PvP, balancing arenas, and nerf this and that, then fix up the open world PvP, and then given the new role specific gear or change the stats, whatever, it's gonna bring back a lot of players where they're gonna be like, all right, who wants to do fives? And then more people will come. Even the new players are gonna see what the game is like, because the new players don't even know what DC was like from before. They're like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Well, not only that, but it keeps PvP. PvP is what keeps people playing the game after they're done with their daily shit.
Really, just go start some shit, or just queue up, or whatever. I mean, it's
Go
just,
fight
that's
club,
what
do some
people-
1v1s. All that. I mean, oh my god.
all that junk, dude. I mean, not that junk. You know what I mean? But it's just, like I said, developers need to see that now. They can't just lay back and be like,
That
okay,
Stone is
episode
online
21.
on Skype. Oops, sorry.
Oh my god, Bug. No, episode
Sorry, I'm
21.
interrupting. Sorry, I apologize.
No, you're good, man. You're good. But like I said, instead of them, releasing episode 21, Wonder Woman in disguise. You know, I don't know. They always release Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, you probably like that Super Patriot, but she needs to like, you know,
We
walk
need more
away for a little while.
Batman.
Go on holiday, have a break.
Wait, who?
Yeah, we need a Superman now this time. We need more Green Arrow. We need more. Who are we missing? Where's the Joker, man? Like, where is that guy?
All right. Well,
Died out.
you
After
know,
that.
one thing you guys have to take into consideration is the costs that it comes in play when you're dealing with specific characters. Like for instance, how with Wonder Woman, you talk about how much they're using Wonder Woman right now. That has a lot to do with they changed the voice actress for Wonder Woman. I don't know if you guys remember who the original voice actress for Wonder Woman was. But it was Gina Torres. She was, on she's on that show. What's it called? Suits right now on USA. But she was also in Firefly.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
She was also in Firefly and everything. So she's well known actress. She's been in movies, TV shows, and everything like that. She's a big actress and everything. So they changed the voice actress over to Susan Eisenberg. Now, Susan Eisenberg, she's the one who did the voice for Wonder Woman in the Justice League cartoons. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. So they brought her back. And I mean, for me, that is more of an iconic voice for Wonder Woman than Gina Torres was. Not that Gina Torres did a bad job, but when I think of Wonder Woman, I hear Susan Eisenberg's voice doing it. And she does a lot of voiceover work for video games, cartoons, and stuff like that. So, she's always doing voiceover work. Whereas Gina Torres, she's an actress. She does some voiceover work, but her main thing is she's an actress. So, she's going to cost more money, all right, to bring in for that. Now, you talking about bringing Joker back, which I would love for some more Joker content. I would love that because I just love Mark Hamill's voice for the Joker. But you gotta consider that's Mark freaking Hamill. That's Luke Skywalker. He is one of the biggest names.
The Flash, all those Joker.
The Joker needs to come back, man. Like he could come back with a new area. You know what I mean? Like he could do. They could just do so much with stuff. I know they're trying to go based on the comics.
But here's one of the but you got to consider the cost of getting Mark Hamill to come back to do the voice of the Joker, which last I remember I think he said he was retired from doing the Joker's voice, from voicing the Joker. So
I mean, actually, when he's normally speaking, you hear the Joker's voice. So how is he retired?
Yeah, I mean, there's you can hear a lot of the Joker when he's done the trickster on the Flash TV show. You can hear a lot of, especially the laugh, the giggle. Oh my God, that giggle is so freaking good. That he does. But the laugh especially. I mean, that's got to be taxing on somebody's voice, and I think that's one of the reasons why he was kind of retired from doing the Joker as much. But I mean, so if they're going to drop new Joker content, new content with the Joker in there, with new voice work and all that, do they spend do they pay Mark Hamill to come in and do it, which is probably going to cost them a lot of money, or do they completely recast the voice? And if they recast the voice, then they've got to redo the voice work for all of the Joker content.
Is it that's why we don't have that much Joker content?
Well, I mean, like I said, you got to take into consideration the production costs, and part of the production cost is the voiceover work.
Yeah, but I mean, that's why maybe one of the reasons.
They want production. They want money. Put in replay badges for arenas. Call that a day. Bring that shit back too.
Honestly, I don't want to see. I would not want to see replay badges come back into PvP. I still would like. I mean, I talked about this on your podcast. About my season pass idea. About at least every 6 months and all that. If you're for non-members, you have to pay for $10 for a season pass to get the new PvP access to the new gear, the new map, and all that stuff.
Right. That makes sense. New season PS. Yeah, I mean, there's a bundle.
Yep.
No,
I would like to see that. Not replay badges. I would not want to see replay badges used.
Well, I don't mean replays to replay the. I don't mean replays to get like marks or like use replays to get gear, but more of like to get rare like auras. Add in auras like a release a weekly aura, smoke aura. You have if you spend the replay badges, you have a chance to
See,
get.
I don't think.
Aura.
I don't think legally.
Awesome.
Legally, I don't think they can do that though, because those auras, like the smoke aura, the Nimbus, the OG plasmic, and everything, those were put out as being exclusive for those booster bundles.
That's why no Batman inspired mask, bitches.
Yep.
$20. All right, about $20, man. Ooh.
No, not the $20 one. You can buy the $20 one, but not the inspired one. Only if you will buy someone's account. But yeah, this is also against.
Oh, they have the Two-Face one too. The one like I don't. They have the Two-Face
eye,
one.
yeah, the Two-Face eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's true. I mean, like at the end of the day, Smoke Aura is the shit. I love Smoke Aura. That's like the best aura in the game. I stick with that aura.
That's Solar
I don't know.
Aura. The shit right now, dude, for me.
Yeah, I mean,
the original Nimbus aura.
The best is also, in my opinion, the Black Smoke. I mean, they should do more black. I mean, why they don't do a Black Radiant? Why they don't do a Black Nimbus? Why they don't do a Black Plasmic or something? No, they know because black is the color that rules everything. Let's say Batman, best hero. You know it, guys. Why? Because he dresses black. So shut up. You know it's true. If Batman will be, be yellow or red, no one would watch him.
What are you talking about?
No.
Yes.
No. Batman is a very selfish hero.
Let's say, for example, they would have in this booster bundle a Black Radiant aura. What do you think people would like to wear? Seriously, they will all try to get also the Black Radiant
aura.
Yeah.
The Black Radiant probably just looks like a black aura.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna lie, it will.
Or not
it will.
other aura, Black Nimbus, for example.
They'll all look similar, man, if it's black.
Well, I don't know any aura that looks similar to Black Smoke.
That's why they released the smoke version of it, so it could look like, it can just look different.
All right, well, I think at the end of the show here, we've been going for a little bit now. Anybody else?
Pretty, call me.
Let's finish off with some questions, shall we? Like we normally do.
Yeah, we can throw some questions out there.
I'll look at the chat then.
Anyone in the chat, if you've got a question for us to answer, any of us, and bang it in now, and we'll wrap this shizzle up, my nizzle.
No, Trick Daisy, fuck you, man. This guy's an asshole.
J2K, I never hated Godman. I just disagreed with his methods. As everybody thinks, as I come out, if I disagree with somebody, there's, oh man, you fucking hate that guy. No, I just disagreed with the way, you were putting your message out at the time. We talked about that. So, it's no big deal. God's ever do a face reveal.
Face reveal. Would you
ask that?
The first Annihilation.
Yeah, that one.
Maybe. If I get 10,000 subscribers. Subscribe, guys.
Wow. Freaking sub whore.
And then you will see John
Show yourself,
Travolta.
man.
Freaking sub whore. Any other questions? Let's go. My dinner's ready here.
Who made the
TV
dinner?
Oh,
wait, never mind. Oops. Sorry.
My daughter made my dinner tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's why you have kids, to do the stuff you don't want to do around the house.
Well, yeah, I got a question.
You got a question?
Yeah, what are you having for dinner?
Horsepower.
I think we got like rice and beans up there and sausage. Some sausage.
Rice and beans and one sausage.
No, I didn't say one sausage. Do you think they'll bring back old PvP back with Roll Solutions next year? Yeah, well, I mean, Rotor, like I said, I mean, the grand hope is that they will bring back, RPS system and everything like that. I really hope they do. based off the fact that they, said, they're doing this damage reduction, which is based off of player feedback and what they've seen and everything like that. I really hope that they take the players' feedback, and the vast majority of players are wanting the RPS system back. So, hopefully they do. Next question.
My questions to the Daddy House, Balkan, and the Orbit. Didn't want Godman to answer that one.
Wow. Yeah, Gods, you're irrelevant for PvP. How does that make you feel?
You two ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
It's okay. At the end of the day, hey, God, you know what it is? Because we both have God in our name.
Exactly.
It's okay.
The one is the
means we're-
Godman and the other one is a disciple. I'm
Basically.
sorry. Joke.
J2K, no, we cannot start the podcast over. Freaking nut. We've been going for like 2 hours.
That's funny as hell.
It'll be uploaded on Balkan's channel. You can listen to it there.
No problem. Welcome and what's everybody? This is not joke. Fuck off, man.
Dark
We're
Horse
gonna
asks,
upload it. We're gonna upload it again. Don't worry.
Dark Horse asks, when's the mummy backup? I think when mummy backup will be added to the game when.
What is this?
Never. I don't know.
To be fair though, I reckon if he keeps pestering them as much as he does, he will get it.
Maybe.
I reckon
don't know.
he will get it.
I've been harping about a freaking Owen Science map for 4 years, so.
Yeah, but a lot of people. It's just, there's only one person in the whole of every server that wants that. Only one person that wants that mummy backup, and is Dark Horse.
What is that
reckon-
mummy backup? What is this?
What the hell's a mummy?
Like,
what
you know,
I'm actually lost about
The
that.
Egyptian.
The backup trinkets you get from the home turf stuff, the backup trinkets and all that. He's wanting a version of them where 3 mummies come out, and fight instead of like the Batman, the Batcave robots or something like that.
Oh, he's that. Oh, that's that guy that loves. He's like the Egyptian fetish type. I get it. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just like, what the?
Oh, Egyptian fetish. We're gonna keep this, guys. Egyptian.
Do you think Mass Terror will ever come back? Mass Terror is the shit in PvE right now.
Mass Terror?
I think he might be on.
I mean the leak or the power? I think
on
he
about.
means
You're talking about the league?
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
well, that would be. That's a good
No,
one.
they are done. They are done. I've with some of them contact. Some of them died, disappeared. Some of them are quitting, playing other games. Maybe 1-2 come back, but never as Mass Terror.
Did you say
possibly.
some of them died?
No, I mean like vanished,
Okay, I thought you
disappeared.
said
I mean,
some of them died.
yeah,
I'm like,
I said it. Yeah, I mean, let's say there is a guy called Andes. He was one of the main leaders of Master, or one of the first guys, and he disappeared. He didn't say he quit. We don't have his Facebook Skype. He just vanished. No one knows what happened to this guy, so we say he might died. We don't know. Just gone.
Oh wow.
I don't think he has died though. So
I don't
worry.
think he's died. He's just.
I just think he maybe just doesn't play anymore.
We're the gods, I mean, we know who died.
Yeah, I haven't.
Die. We could see
I
what's
haven't
going
been
on.
in heaven. Have you?
I guess yeah. But I wish
JK
Mass
wants to
Terror
ask-
is good itself. I'm sorry.
JK wants
All
to
right.
ask Godman. He wants to ask Godman, do you think you can talk Brittany into coming onto y'all's podcast, Sips Tea?
Well, that's a real good question, actually. It's
I
just
hear
she
it's
wants
the
to
Sipsy
come.
guy. He's
No
the
chance
Sipsy
in
guy.
hell. She will go on that podcast for you guys.
Oh man, I honestly, just like how you came in there, nobody attacked you. Nobody really attacked you. I mean, I didn't, come at you or, a lot of other people actually sat there calmly, most of them, and just listened to what you had to say. So I think if Brittany comes to the podcast, I will give him, like I said, I don't hate Brittany as a person. I just dislike the fact how she was in the comments, like, in the comment section and how. I just made fun of her. That's all I did, really. It's not like
the
doesn't
only
mean I
thing I
fully
can
hate
say
her.
about all that, when those, me and her were going around in the comments of people's videos, trying to, we're, like so much trying to tell people, what to think or anything like that. We were just trying to, pass on the correct information, because the information that was being put out at the time was just so freaking off and wrong. And then everybody's we were getting attacked left and right and everything. So her reacting to people, the way anybody came at her or anything like that is a direct result of all of that. So,
I only made fun of her 2 minutes and she attacked me. Only 2 minutes of the video. That's all I did. It just escalated from there. And I made another one, I think, and then I was spoiler. I was gonna work on a third one, like a quick one, but I was just like, I'll let her breathe, man. I'm gonna let her breathe. Just gonna let her breathe. But like I said, I don't hate Brittany. If she ever decides to come on our podcast, she can hit me up and be like, listen, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. We could talk. And,
oh my
right,
God,
cool.
Brittany, no.
Hey, Godman, I got you tell you this right now, all right? The first step towards helping make that happen would be to stop doing your impersonation of her.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's funny, dude.
This question is for the EU guys. If the servers do merge, which USPS league would you challenge first in fives?
What is your league called, Patriot?
Meta Justice?
Nah, they're boring. Forget it. No.
Oh, this guy.
Oh.
Nah.
I don't know. Like are the old school leagues still around? Like
Some of them are. Some of them are. Some of them are. The ones that aren't really what they used to be. I know the replacements are still around. They got people in there. Some of the old school guys from the replacements are still in that league and fairly active. I see them log on every once in a while.
what's the league that puts not in front of their name?
Oh, disqualified? No, those guys are done.
Oh, they would have been the league I would have.
They are disqualified. Is now 1UP again. They all went back to this league called 1UP.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly how active those guys are anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them on for a while. The most majority of like the active PvPers and all that I see on the game anymore are people I have no idea who the hell they are.
All right. Patriot, I think we've got a question there from God Disciple DC. Can you read that one out, please, mate?
God's Disciple's got a question for Orbit. Will you still play with your old friends now you are going to be spending a lot of time with Smile?
No.
Wow.
That's why they feel like that though, Orbit, because they feel like they're gonna lose you since you're talking to Smile again. They feel like things are gonna probably go back to the way it was. I mean, I don't know, that's
We
how I
don't
kinda
feel
see
we
it,
know.
Don't worry, guys. I won't forget about you.
No. I could tell last week when you decided you didn't want to come on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't just decide. I didn't
Now
want
we
to
really
come
know.
on.
What it was.
Yeah, he was
Never
talking with him. It
now.
makes sense. It all
Yeah.
makes sense.
Ha!
We built a
Do the
puzzle
podcast
together.
thing. That's because I'm making friendly with Smile.
honestly, guys, I say give Smile a chance. Just give him a chance.
No,
Maybe the guy has.
We were talking about this before, and all, and I've said this before, and I was like, I've got no grudges against Smile anymore. I mean, it's in the past. I mean, I don't really want to have anything to do with the guy, just because of the way things went. But I'm not looking to start up any beef or anything like that. But I still will sit here and say to this day that guy got famous off of my name. Everything after that, though, he did on his own. As far as building up his channel and everything. But that dude got famous off of my name.
Yeah,
Alright.
I personally don't think I would make up with him after what happened. I mean, I know fair play to Orbit, like he's made up with him. But you were good friends with him before. I wasn't sort of good friends ever with him. So I've got no reason to make up with him, but that doesn't stop the fact that I completely respect what he's done since he left DC. He's done it for himself.
Yeah, I'll give him props for what he's done. Building his channel up and everything like that. He's done a good job.
Yeah.
Just don't change, Orbit. Don't change. Still be you, man. Don't let nobody change.
Always. Always, my brother.
Don't ever say that again.
That was good.
Isn't that what all the Americans say?
No.
Always my brother. Well, not sometimes. We say that. Say bro. Say bro now. Like I don't say bro. I say bro.
My
You know,
homie.
bro's
I like when
homie. Yeah,
Homie.
homie.
Opens up his videos. What's good, bro?
Skinny arrow.
I've noticed.
Oh my
you say-
God.
I've noticed, Godman, you say honestly a lot. You're like, honestly, and honestly, honestly this, honestly that. You are one of the most honest guys I know, mate.
Yeah, the thing is, all of us have our own little freaking ticks in the way we talk. I say a lot.
Do you? I've never noticed.
Yeah,
we always have our
Godman starts off every sentence with honestly. Balkan can't say words properly.
Hey, I'm foreign, man.
Balkan, say nuclear vessels for me.
Suck your mom. Nuclear vessels.
There it is. There's my little check off.
This is so racist, man. If I
That's
wouldn't
not
have,
racist.
no,
It's
if
not
I wouldn't
racist.
have the accent, if I wouldn't be Southeastern European or something, yeah, you wouldn't say that. Be honest. So this is racist. Yeah.
Like I said, man, it's just we've all got our own
Thank
little
you.
ticks with our with the way we talk and everything like that.
I know.
It's our signature. It's our signature.
Signature, finisher.
I do gotta stop that though. Now I notice I be saying honestly a lot. I do gotta lower that. I just gotta calm that down.
Dude, when people started pointing out this, saying that telling me that,
You just you're trying
I
to
just fucking
explain
did too. I
this.
just fucking did. It bugs me every time I hear myself now. Again, I'm sitting there, I was like, oh my god, I said it again. Oh my god, I said it again. It bugs the shit on me, but it got to the point
Yeah,
where I was like, where
so
I was
used
like,
to it.
care anymore. Screw you. If you
He said it again,
Hold up.
say
I don't-
in a video, then you don't know.
I don't.
Orbit says this a lot. He'd be like, "Yo, what's up, guys? Orbit hits that. We're gonna be making another video." I'm just like, you say that every every intro, dude.
It's my intro, mate.
Orbit TGN here.
When Super Patriot
Yeah,
says
yeah.
no, I don't
Yeah.
mind it too much.
Oh, Super
He says
Patriot always be
no.
like, "What's up, everybody? This is the people." We always have our ticks, yeah. But I do gotta calm down the honesty part because, let's be honest, I'm not always honest. I'm not always honest about certain
This
things.
guy
I gotta
likes to
really
take the
cut-
piss out of my video, man.
You'll say like honestly
Yeah.
and go into something, and I'm like, mate, that's fucking bullshit.
I totally agree, man. I gotta calm that down. Gotta go read a book here, then. Okay, then.
Right, wrap us up, Super.
Wrap it up. All right. Well, once again, I want to thank everybody on behalf of everybody here. I want to thank everybody for stopping by, listening to the People's Podcast today. I want to thank Godman for being our special guest, coming on board here, and keeping it real, keeping it 100, as everybody likes to say out there.
The 100, brother.
Keeping it 100 out there. So yeah, I mean, it was a good show. I had a lot of fun. Hope we helped inform everybody out there. Make sure you guys take advantage of the base item sale today, especially those freaking armories, man. Freaking 8 armories for $680 marketplace cash. That's a deal and a half.
Holy crap.
Also, don't forget about the huge Legends weekend going on. Legends PvE going on all weekend, and the free Legends previews this week. Balkan is not love. Balkan is not life.
Don't be jealous
anyway,
because
so
no
I
I
one
just
just
said it
like
to
the
you.
way that Balkan's advertising his channel in the live stream.
It was
Yeah.
just taking the piss. I just wanted to notice it.
Yeah. Balkan's an attention whore, in case anybody didn't know that. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
No?
Nothing to add?
I always like to say thank you guys for inviting me to the People's Podcast. I really appreciate it. I had fun being here, talking to you guys. Orbit, it was nice meeting you. God Disciple, same to you, man. I finally get to meet you guys, able to talk to you guys, able to communicate and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Honestly.
I like Ron on the chat. Says, keep it 100, bro, honestly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like I said, again, thanks again, Godman, for coming by. Thanks everybody for stopping by, watching and listening. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Until next time,
See ya, take care, and have fun.
Percy.
Adios. Oh.
Adios.